Hey, Vegeta. Vegeta. I'm haunting you. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Well, that tends to age you. Or tell us you my age. I'm 40 years old today. Thank you to everybody who's joining in. Good to see Robot Shlomo. Good to see you, man. How you doing? You're muted.
Son of a bitch. Ugh.
So much for going smoothly. No, just kidding. You can swear all you want.
40, the big 4-0. The big 4-0. I remember I got a bottle of whiskey on my 40th birthday. Yeah.
Nice. I'm not a drinker, so
yeah.
I'm ashamed.
Well, don't feel bad, you know, as my mom made a cake out of it, so I mean it was good. It was good whiskey too.
I mean, I had a cake, I had my preferred dinner. It's all nice.
Oh, what'd you have?
Oh, excuse me. I had chicken Alfredo with pasta.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yep. Howdy do. Thank you very much.
It's gonna turn into a food.
Thank you very much, lovely Sherry. And if anybody wants to join for a little bit, we have a rotating panel. Once we get up to 4 people, we will switch and circle.
Okay.
But yep, the link to join is the pinned comment above. But after 4 people, if other people want to come in, I will be rotating the panel, folks, just to make sure you all know.
Okay.
And
this is don't feel bad about booting me. I've been kicked out of other places, so.
I'll let some people back in. I mean, if they behave enough and whatnot. But
how is everybody? Nice people in the chat. How are you doing? Everybody keeps asking, just as a shameless self plug. Everybody keeps asking me when I'm going to start streaming again. Pretty soon, I'll start streaming. Don't worry. So
2024. Now, folks, before we do get started, I do want to say a brief remembrance of Carl Weathers due to the fact that he died last year on my birthday, which was kind of that was a serious mood killer, because it's like, no, that's just not nice. That sucks. You know, I mean, it's like, what the fuck? Carl Weathers, man, that dude was legendary. Like, Neil Patrick Harris, legendary. That's Carl Weathers. And as much as I may have disagreed with his politics, I mean, the guy was a left-winger, he always chose to be a more peaceful figure, which was very much something to strive for. You know, if you can't get along, at least be peaceful about it. So, rip Carl Weathers, 1 year in, be peace, man. Also, we were watching, me and Mara were discussing the Rocky movies 1 and 2 with Carl Weathers. And, dude, that was just those are great movies with him. And who do we got in the chat?
I love Rocky movies. I love the Rocky movies. Yeah. Well, the first few anyway.
Soul Assassin, good to see you. Christopher Rates, good to see you. Thank you so much. This year is the 20th anniversary of Haunting Ground, which is an underrated Capcom game on the PlayStation 2. Nice. Otanjobi Omidito. That's Japanese for happy birthday. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Actually,
and yeah.
I got some couple Japanese PS2 games I gotta play. Actually,
I played the PS2 was the latest PS console that I ever had. And there's Nerb with a cigar. Good. We'll get her on here. There we go.
Oh, there we. Doing pretty well. Happy birthday.
Hello. I don't think I've ever met Nerd with a Cigar. How are you, Nerd with a Cigar?
Good. How are you?
Oh,
She joins me every Sunday night for the weekly recap, unless she's busy with something else.
Sometimes it happens.
It does.
Yep, it does. But yeah, we're just talking movie stuff. I mean,
Hey, there's a dog.
Hey, thank you to John M for wishing me happy birthday and whatnot. We're going to be talking all sorts of different stuff. I mean, we're going to try to keep it less political because this is more of a happy time, you know. But in positive stuff with politics, our preferred candidate won, and we kind of dodged a bullet. We got a 4-year Band-Aid. So yeah. Hey, good to see Neozoic. He'll ask some good questions.
Neozoic always comes clutch with a good question.
Dropping by to say happy birthday. Oh, have a good night, dude. Thank you for stopping in. Now, what were you saying, Kate?
I was just saying Neozoic always comes in clutch with the really good questions, you know, to kind of stimulate conversation.
I'll just be glad that we're not doing this in person, because now I would have to stop everything I'm doing and pet your dog for an hour.
Nice. He has gotten very cuddly recently, so I've been introducing my sister to Doctor Who, the good ones. Don't worry, guys, the good ones. And so my dog Theo, he's like, I want to cuddle on the couch with you guys. So it's like me, the dog on my chest, my little sister leaning against me, the cat, like it's the whole thing.
Oh wow, good news. Meta has to pay out $25 million to Trump.
So okay, I kind of wanted to throw something to you guys because a friend of mine recently kind of opened my mind to a different perspective. And Orange, you're pretty good at objective, thought topics.
Analysis.
Analysis of things. So with the whole Meta and Bud Light changing their tune, these
bottom
they're not
line
the
is
only
money for them.
Huh?
The bottom line is money for them. Just to give you good context in it.
Right. Well, so a friend of mine used to work for Anheuser-Busch, and he's like, look, because I used to live in Missouri. He lives in St. Louis still, and he was like, look, Anheuser-Busch, despite that whole disastrous marketing campaign, they give a lot to veterans. They give a lot to American farmers. They employ a lot of Americans, and they fired everybody that had to do with that campaign. Should we give them a second chance? Should we give Meta a second chance? Should we not cancel culture people who are apologetic and come back to sanity? Just
Anheuser-Busch, I will say they should, or if they came back to sanity, fine. But their bottom line is money. Now, they made a mistake with the Dylan Mulvaney thing. And that was their biggest problem. As for Meta, I've not stopped using Meta, or Facebook anyway. I got off of Instagram because they were allowing CP, folks, child prawn, we'll call it. So
cheese pizza.
And I have reported stuff like that.
Stuff.
They still haven't. They allowed it. They're like saying this doesn't violate the terms. And I see Rick Aragorn in the background. So, Rick, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Well, thank you so much.
The only thing I'll have to say about that. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Rick? How you doing there?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to join everyone.
Yeah. Why is people named Rick? Why are people sharing my name? What's going on here?
Well, not
anatomy. Hey, I got a lot of pushback on Pirates of the Pancreas. Okay, that was my baby.
Sorry, Christian. It seemed your signal went out. But getting back to Instagram
all I'll say about Anheuser-Busch is that they're owned by InBev. Chances are, whatever beer you would switch to is going to also be owned by InBev. So, it's just a lateral move. Like, when Tim
Sure.
Pool was saying, "Don't buy Bud Light, buy Modelo instead." I'm like, it's owned by the same company, jackass.
Right. Unless you're
Probably is.
getting like local microbrewers and like
Yeah.
craft brew.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of which are terrible. I mean,
Christian, you there?
Yeah, for some weird reason, the camera doesn't work.
Well, it doesn't have to. So at least we can hear you. That's the important thing.
okay.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah.
I have Strong Bed plushie here. I'm Strong Bed, and I love checking emails. Dear Strong Bed, how'd you top with boxing gloves on? Why the crap do you keep sending me that, huh?
I don't know.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, as for me and Instagram, after reporting that stuff and they're saying it doesn't violate, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna return to your, or I'm not returning to that stuff, man. As for
Yeah.
Facebook, I haven't seen that stuff being put up on there, so I also use Facebook to stay in touch with friends and family and whatnot. So I will keep Facebook. But as for Meta, if they're going to, or they have stopped or they have relaxed their free speech restrictions, I did a test. And well, let's just say that the test worked. And I told people, it's like, this is a test post. Do not read too much into it. And then I put women belong in the kitchen.
Oh my!
And so,
Well, does that apply
So
to
I did a
download-
test as well. I posted the same meme that got me a 30-day ban, like a couple of years back, and I don't have a ban, so I'm like, well, maybe.
I was saying,
and
does
then
that
they
apply
gave me-
to?
Go
Does
ahead.
that apply to Daniela the maid from Haunting Ground?
No idea. But
Well, I love obscure things, so I'm gonna educate you.
Oh dear.
all right. But
Yeah, like Haunting
anyway,
Ground is a rare PS2 survival horror game. The reason why it financially flopped, it was released a few months after Resident Evil 4.
all right.
I'm
And
looking. I gotta
Haunting
look.
Ground is about an 18-year-old girl named Fiona Belly who's stuck inside a British castle with a white German shepherd named Huey to protect her from stalkers. The first one is a more innocent, childlike hunchback named Debilitas, and the second is a robot-like maid with purple hair named Daniela, and the third and four are her uncle and grandfather, respectively. It deals with alchemy.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking
And
it up
Debilitas
here.
is like,
Getting back-
my darling. And he looks like Sloth from the Goonies.
Okay.
But there's an option where Debilitas can be spared, though, so he'll learn from his mistakes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So getting back to Meta for a moment, they gave me a survey, and they asked, "How can we improve Meta?" And I've told them, you need to reset your algorithm to have no bias, absolute no bias. You get rid of that, or you reset your algorithm. Not only that, but you also have an apology post on your main page that is a public apology for all the censorship that you had incurred upon people due to the over 2021's COVID stuff and whatnot. Because I remember being heavily censored and labeled as an extremist and a spreader and purveyor of misinformation simply for posting when I took my the vaccine for the first time, because I was forced into taking it due to the fact that I wouldn't have been allowed to take care of my aunt if I hadn't. And so yeah, I had to take it. But anyway, I take the first thing. It's like, okay. That second shot comes in, and it's like, dear Lord, so much pain. And so, is my audio okay? Am I skipping at all?
No, I think you're doing all right.
You're doing okay. There's like maybe a glitch here or there, but it's not like worth.
Yeah, because I said I would rotate when I hit 4, but I allowed 5 people on. So I will not allow more than 5 people on at a time. And if
It's okay.
more
I gotta
people
go
come in,
soon
I
anyway.
will
I
be
just wanted to
rotating.
pop in and say happy birthday and whatnot. So
You gonna be there for
this
tomorrow
is
night?
Homestar Wano. And
I will be there for
Shakuabita
tomorrow night.
says
Yes.
happy birthday.
All right. Thank you so much. And yes, thank you, Christian.
Who's
And thank you,
doing
Sakura.
Homestar's
And
voice?
MSK. And Xavier.
Everybody pop in.
And Deej. And Sins. Or Siddins.
Happy
Or
birthday from us to you.
Well.
But yeah.
Deej, there's somebody actually I have here who wants to say hi. Wants to say hi to you, and you'd be surprised. I mean, I had to pull some strings to get on very short notice. Okay, so let me just bring him in. So hold on. Let me see if I can do this here. I'll just bring him in now, right now. Yes, DJ Odyssey. Hi, how you doing? This is William Shatner, Captain James T. Kirk. How are you? I just wanted to pop in and say happy birthday. And as someone who has aged like milk, enjoy the quick and rapid downward slide. That's what I have to say. You know, it's not easy looking this handsome.
I did meet William Shatner when he came to El Paso.
That's right, we did meet. And I said to you, "Who the hell are you?" That's what I said. That's what I said.
You actually just said, "Nice to meet you." We did have to have that 6 feet social distance. You were very polite in your talk. You did kind of ramble on a bit, but it was fine.
I'm 90 freaking years old. Of course, you're going to ramble. That's right.
That is true. You did ramble, and I spent a good amount of money to have my picture taken with you. But it was one of those. It was one of those. How many chances am I going to get?
I spent quite a bit of money. And I want you to know that money went to a worthy cause. Me.
Yeah. Well, when I met another time when I met Aaron Gray, who was on Buck Rogers, and I think she was on another show.
Aaron Gray, yes, I love Aaron Gray.
She was so nice, and she told first she had me take the picture twice because she looked at the picture and said, "Oh no, this didn't come out right. Let me go ahead and do it again." So I didn't get charged twice for the same picture, and she told me that she donates part of her fee to a battered women's shelter, which I thought was really nice. So mad props to her, as the kids say.
Yes, battered. How else are you going to serve a woman other than battered? Battered little Parmesan cheese. That's we're getting to.
Well, there was another time when I met your next generation. The next generation. There was 3 of them. Marina Sirtis, Brett Spiner, and
she had quite a rack in her, Marina Sirtis.
I'll tell you, when it was my turn, and it was just me because I tend to be a very lonely man. But when it was my turn to have my picture taken with the 3 of them, she takes my hand, pulls me forward, and says, "Stand next to me, love. I know you want to." I'm just surprised that the camera did not capture the endless shades of red that were just on my face because it is true, I did want to stand next to her.
Yes, I mean, who wouldn't?
So that was, and they're hilarious. She should have been a comedy.
That's right. Should have been comedy. Yes, you do know that I went into space recently. That's right. I went into space. Some people looked at that and said, this is proof that some people have too much money. And I said, of course, and I'm one of them.
Now, you
well, I've got to be going. So,
well, good to meet you. Good to see you again. Good to see you.
Yes, happy birthday.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yes.
Hey,
I also would like to say happy birthday.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh my. Yes. It's supple young body. I had a young body.
Well, there's a pretty funny Middle-earth inside joke from Homestar Runner in a Halloween special. Strong said, asked Homestar, hey, Homestar, where does the Dark Lord Sauron live again? Well, are you talking about, like, Mordor? The land of Mordor? Where's the shadows lie? Yeah?
He lives where the sun doesn't shine.
Did you commit against Pom Pom again? Oh, you mean Mordor? Come to think of it, there's a lot of Mordor in Mordor. Orcs, murdering wargs, morgs, murdering orcs, excuse me. Orcs murdering wargs in the land of Mordor. That's better.
Where the shadows lie.
I will say that first off, I apologize to you, Mr. Decay. All these years, I thought you were Mr. Zulu, like in the Nation. I thought it was Mr. Zulu.
Well,
And-
I do have a thing for black men. Oh my.
and
Unless they're a Supreme Court justice.
Ooh.
you were
Yes.
you
I
were
mean,
very
yes, of
you were very
course.
good in a movie called Hell to Eternity, which
That's
is based on
right,
a true
I
story.
was.
Yes, yes, you
I
were. It was a
was.
small part, but it was.
And
You were
I
very
was
good at
in
it.
Green Berets with John Wayne. Ooh.
That
It was
is
about
correct.
That is right. A lot of people don't know that. And you know, I was very physically fit at the time. Would you like to see how physically fit I was? Oh, I bet you would. Ooh, just remember, Orange, it's like a shopping cart at this age. It's poised at the top of a hill. And then once you start going downhill, there's no stopping it. So enjoy the ride. Ooh, thank you and happy birthday. So, oh my.
Right.
Oh
Oh,
well,
oh, geez, I
Orange.
don't know what happened there. Jeez, oh my God.
Orange, just be thankful that George Takei didn't break out into "Happy Birthday, Mr. President." All right, that's all.
You just gave me an idea.
Oh God!
Thank God. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
I don't think he'll be singing
Wait,
that for a
Orange,
while.
did you have to shovel the
Wait.
snow on your birthday? Like do chores
Wait,
and
how
stuff?
come no one wants to hear me sing? Nobody
All
wants to hear
right.
me sing.
Hold on,
Oh,
guys.
me. Happy birthday,
I
you
couldn't
bunch
hear
of
Kate.
racists. Okay, yeah, there's a reason
All
why I
right,
don't
Kate,
invite
what'd you
her on
say?
streams. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
no, you're good. I was just saying. Wait, did you have to do chores on your birthday? You posted something about shoveling snow, and I was like, and then you said it was your birthday, and I was
Oh.
like, I will take the day off because I'm selfish.
I can't afford to do that. Actually, because the person whose place I was shoveling, he's 80 years old.
Oh,
So
Gotcha.
oh,
yeah.
you're doing
Gotcha.
good.
You're doing good for other people. Well, I can't stay long. I gotta pop off here, but I wanted to stop in and say hi. Lovely meeting all of you. Those were great vocal impressions. I love that. That was great.
Does that include mine?
Yeah, yes, it includes yours.
I
But
just want to let
happy
you know,
birthday, Orange. I will be watching, but I gotta pop off.
my birthday's coming up
Alright.
on the 18th.
Nice meeting you.
Yes, nice
The
meeting you.
18th.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll be
happy
28.
early birthday. 28th. You're a youngin'.
God, I remember when I was 28.
Right? Me too. Have a good night, guys. Happy birthday.
Good night. Good night. Good to meet you.
Night.
Thanks. Night.
It's a
And now
shame
it's
she
a
had to
sausage
leave. It's a shame she had to leave because she's not going to get to hear my my impression of Carol Channing. So that would have been like the highlight of this birthday feast.
Well, here's an obscure media I recommend. Have you ever heard of Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi?
Oh yeah.
No.
It's loosely
Years
based
ago.
on the band that made the it's loosely based on the band that made the Teen Titans theme song.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Cass is like, I wonder if I'll have enough of these dollars so I can save up on an investment plan.
and the guy who wrote the guy who did a lot of the music for that is a guy by the name of Andy Sturmer, who used to be in the band Jellyfish.
Yeah, that's correct. And speaking of Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, it was animated by Renegade Animation, who also made the Mr. Men show and Funny Face.
Oh, that's interesting. Did you ever see the Seth MacFarlane short Life of Larry or Larry and Steve or whatever it was?
Yes.
That's actually pretty good. I like that for some reason. I don't know why. It's a lot of the same jokes as Family Guy, but still it's rather
I would say
humorous.
in a way it's the closest to a 1990s Phineas and Ferb.
Mm.
All right.
Oh God, I had a they were talking about on Reddit where I'm from is there's not a whole lot of, you live in New York, you have a lot of TV shows based on New York. You live in Chicago. There's shows based in Chicago. Like Mike and Molly or St. Elts, whatever it is.
Oh, please,
You
there's
live in
Chicago Hope, Chicago
Hope, Chicago Fire,
Med,
Chicago Hope, whatever.
Fire,
Yeah,
the whole.
you live in LA. There's a lot of shows based in LA. There's nothing based, no media based in New Haven, Connecticut. Okay. But there was one. They were talking about it on Reddit. I'm like, yeah, you guys forgot this one. The Mike O'Malley show lasted 2 episodes. I'm like, that's our claim to fame. That and the Alf knockoff Scorch. Like so.
Oh,
we talk about.
No, I just thought that wasn't Newhart based somewhere in New England?
That was based in New Hampshire or Vermont.
I live in Massachusetts.
Oh yeah. Boston, Boston Legal, Boston Public, or whatever it is.
Boston Common. There was Boston
Common. For God's sake.
More Bostonians.
Connecticut sucks. This is my Bostonian. There's. Let me. Don't make me rant about how much I hate Connecticut, because we'll be here all night. Oh God. I always. Oh God. I don't want to turn this into a therapy session. So okay. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at this. You ever. The people who move to Connecticut are either moving here for Yale or they break down on their way from New York, on the way to New York or Boston, and they just kind of get stuck here. That's
so. There's nothing to see in Connecticut. Is that the gist of all this?
Well, there's pizza, there's Yale, and rage-inducing traffic.
And there's a full month.
Hey, did you know that there's a Ratchet and Clank animated short called Life of Pi?
Really?
Yeah.
Life of Pi.
Ratchet as in Ratchet and Clank, they realized that Dr. Nefarious used a portal gun to open a pizza dimension with talking toppings. It's quite funny, and Ratchet and Clank go inside a literal pizza gate and see talking pizza toppings.
Now
it's
I want
so
pizza.
Funny.
Now I really want pizza.
Say hello to a 360 topping pizza?
All right. I saw another person coming up in the backstage. I do want to let them in the next time they show up. So who's going to boot?
Oh, you can boot me if you want. I don't mind. I'm always, like I said, I've been kicked out of more places than I can remember. What's one more?
I can stay because I'm a fountain of knowledge.
I barely got here.
Of wisdom. I've been here since the beginning. I've been here since before the beginning.
I'll go in order. For so Ghost, you'll be the first, Christian second, and Rick third.
All right, cool.
If the panel rotates that far.
That's usually
Cassie,
how I
if you want
date.
to try coming in again, yeah. If Cassie wants to try to come in, I will let her in. I just got to see where or if she shows up backstage again.
Oh wow! I haven't seen or heard. Is this Cult Classic Cage?
Cult Classic, yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen
I've
or
known
heard
her.
from her in a long time. She's now a working woman.
Yep, she's a work. I almost said work girl. Whoops.
Hey, I've never seen the movie, but it's a great song. That's from Working Girl.
Okay.
Yeah, and an obscure media I recommend is, did you know that DC's Lobo had his own TVMA webtoon?
No.
It stayed true to the comics.
Okay.
Yeah, and Lobo's like, Feedles, you slugs need to hit the gym. It's Snake. His meds make him bloat.
You really are a fountain of knowledge. You might outdo Wikipedia. I always consider Wikipedia the
I'm
fountain of all knowledge.
I'm on the autism spectrum, by the way.
Yeah.
Which explain details in. The voice cast of the Lobo webtoon had Greg Eagles, Kevin Michael Richardson, Gray Delisle, Tom Kenny, and D. Bradley Baker. All written by John P. McCann of Freakazoid fame.
Hmm.
Yes. See, the difference between yourself and myself, Christian, is that you're on the autism scale. I just ramble, and I've been told more than once that I just start rambling almost incoherently. So it's not anything. It's just me. That's just the way I go. I one of those people that just goes from one topic to another, and there is a connecting. There's a connecting thread between everything I talk about, but eventually I just go on into strange circumstances, and this is usually where the host, almost always Jacob, just tells me to just shut up.
Just shut up.
Yes.
Just shut the frag up and
You
show
can't
me
you
how to
can't you
land
can't
this
say that to
thing.
me, Orange, even if it is your birthday. That's racist. I have to use that. I have to use that at least once to have my privilege.
Shut your fucking mouth! Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Shut it!
Stop oppressing me.
Yes, I have that.
But hopefully Cassie will join us because I haven't seen or heard from her in such a long time. I mean, she'll comment every now and again, but I
Yeah.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to catch up, see how she's doing. I hope she's doing well. I hope everyone is doing well.
I sure am.
If she returns.
Hmm.
If
So,
she returns.
Orange, if you don't mind me asking, besides shoveling snow, was there anything special for your day, for your big day today?
Well, I had my birthday dinner, which was chicken Alfredo with over
Mm,
pasta. So,
mm.
yeah. And I ordered myself a couple of things. One is a new cane because I like canes, and another is winter gloves, or better ones than the ones I currently got because we're dealing with below zero temps that are quite chilly, and these ones are just not cutting it. Let's just say that. But yeah,
Well,
with our that, and I also got myself a Star Wars thing that wasn't from Disney. So
oh,
yeah.
well, we're going through a lot of the books. We're hoping to reopen the main library where I'm at, and I did see a few Star Wars books, and I always think of you when I look at those books because I know you're well versed in the universe. Me, it's like no, I don't. I my sources are just the feature films, and I have not been. I'm not well versed to where I know all the minutia of all these worlds, but I understand there's just a whole. I did get. I almost did get physically ill at the Star Tours ride when I went.
Oh.
The first time I was fine, but the second time I had to hang on, and I pretty much crawled out of the ride, and it was sad because my mom was the one holding me up because it was like I don't know why it affected me so hard the second time. But no, that was a enjoy. I have not done that Rise of the Resistance. I think that's that new ride, right, or newish ride that's there, and I'm not even sure in which part.
No
Disneyland,
idea.
Disney
I haven't
World.
been down there since '98. So
Oh wow! So I I was persuaded once to dress up for one of the prequel movies. So we had to go. I got a little lightsaber, and I had kind of a brown bathrobe. So I kind of went as Obi-Wan, or a version of Obi-Wan, and
Obi
I guess
Wan.
I'll be more like Obi-Wan
Yeah, Obi
because
Wan.
Obi-Wan. But by and large, I just can't dress up. I'm not that kind of individual. I get surrounded by them, and one time I did go to one of the Iron Man movies, and one of my friends did have the outfit complete with a little machinery to make the I guess the body work for
Did you
Tony
know
Stark.
that Gendy Tartakovsky did storyboard work for Iron Man 2 because Jon Favreau really liked Clone Wars 2003 and Samurai Jack.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a really talented guy, Genndy Tartakovsky.
the name is actually familiar. I do recognize the name, and I did see some episodes of Samurai Jack. I was persuaded to watch it, and that was very good. I enjoyed it. He did the animated series, correct?
The original Clone
Yes.
Wars micro series.
Yes.
I did see a few of those, and I thought those were very good. Obi-Wan has always been my favorite, but I can't bring myself to watch the show. That was the one that was placed. Was it on Disney Plus? I can't bring myself to watch that.
Well,
No interest.
Well, hopefully, by the time George Lucas gets the franchise, then there will be an official Blu-ray of Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars.
There used to, or I believe there's DVDs of them.
There were DVDs, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, but you're talking about Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm just saying it would have been awesome if that happened.
Well, anything's possible. I'm still waiting for the Criterion version of the holiday special. So
I actually watched most of the holiday special back when it first aired, and we turned it off after about a half hour, maybe.
For the record, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My mom and dad had enough.
Well, no, I just wanted to publicly state for the record that I did not buy a DVD version of the holiday special. I would never buy something that had never been officially released. Never. Don't even think of that. But it certainly was a sight to see B. Arthur sing in the cantina. Yeah. I didn't know she ran it. You know what? That's probably one of the better songs. I think it's one of the better moments in that where she sings a remarkably moving song. The Wookiee porn, that kind of was puzzling. I did not understand that.
Wookiee what?
The Wookiee porn.
What
Diane
did I
Carroll.
miss?
Diane Carroll, bless her heart. She's the queen of Wookiee porn.
I don't need to know this.
Well, maybe we could have had we could have shown that for your birthday instead of Marilyn Monroe singing "Happy Birthday, Mr. President." Carol, we have Diane Carroll sing you the love song that turned Chewie's father, got him very hot and bothered. It was one of the stranger moments.
That guy's brain is a bag full of cats. You can smell crazy on him.
You better believe it.
Yeah, that's my thoughts right now.
Well, actually, I read that they were going to work on a book. They had these great illustrations of the Wookiee world, but Lucas said no because they were made for the holiday special, and he wanted absolutely no connection with it. Well,
that's a good thing because George Lucas should never even have allowed it. But unfortunately, Fox owned the rights to Star Wars at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they couldn't get Alec Guinness to pop in.
No, it would have.
Guinness,
Alec Guinness,
I believe after Return of the Jedi, he was done with it. He wanted nothing else to do with it.
I don't know if this is a true story, but I understand that there was a little boy who asked for an autograph, and he, of course, didn't knew Alec Guinness just as Obi-Wan, and he gave Sir Alec Guinness gave him the autograph on the promise that he would never watch Star Wars again. Again, that might not be a true story. That might not be a true story. And he did also say that it was a mistake to take a not a percentage of the gross, because I think they had offered him, in payment, in lieu of payment, a certain percentage, and I think he had agreed to it, but then they offered him a larger amount, and he didn't sign to have a larger amount, so he kind of lost out a bit.
Well, he's figuring, this little sci-fi B movie, it's not gonna make that much money.
Did you know that Darth Vader, Yoda, and Starkiller were playable guest characters in Soul Calibur 4?
I do believe so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
because for both PS3 and Xbox 360 versions, you play as Starkiller. For PS3, Darth Vader. For 360, Yoda, and they used to have DLC of the opposite character for the different systems, but sadly, that DLC is gone thanks to Disney.
Well, yeah.
I remember that the PS2 version of Force Unleashed was different than the PS3 version of Force Unleashed.
That's correct,
Like-
and Grey DeLisle voiced Asajj Ventress in that game.
Didn't know she was in that game.
Well, I just have an impressive, fountain of knowledge.
No, that's interesting.
Like, you definitely wouldn't have heard of Homestar Runner if it wasn't for me.
Possibly.
Well, Homestar Runner is
Hey,
absolutely
sure.
funny, and they even have Homestar DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
As well as a dragon named Trogdor, who burninates the countryside, thatched roof cottages, and peasants.
PS2 had the whole story while others had more improved graphics. Yes, but also the PS2 version had Starkiller going to the Jedi Temple more often than not. He had like 3 different missions to the Jedi Temple and a couple other missions where the other one, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 had full-on better graphics, not as many cheat codes. I mean, this was when they were starting to phase out cheat codes, because in the PS2 era, cheat codes were still a thing. Where in the PS3, I started to phase that out because they were starting to do diskless download games and whatnot. At the time, they were starting to tease it and whatnot. Because I do remember that PS2 were doing second disc online play for multiplayer.
I keep seeing Force Unleashed for like $3-4 or whatever it is. I never played it. I mean, was it still worthwhile playing it now, or is it?
I like it. I'd still play it.
And you know what's a good underrated PlayStation franchise? Sly Cooper.
Yeah, I love Sly Cooper.
Yeah,
and that weird ass looking fox thing.
He's a raccoon.
Oh yeah, that one.
There was originally supposed to be a Sly Cooper movie. There's even a trailer. There's even like a teaser trailer for it.
Oh dear Lord. Really?
No, actually, if you think about it, that was actually the one movie that would have made more sense because the characters are all interesting. It's got a good premise. It's basically Lupin the Third.
Oh, I love Lupin the Third.
That's some
what
inspiration of Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes and Lupin the Third is basically.
And Batman the Animated Series is also an inspiration for Sly Cooper.
I mean, it's got the pizzicato footsteps. It's got the madcap chases. It's a fun game series.
Sly Cooper is the thief who likes picking pockets. Remember, he has a code that he only steals from criminals, and his 2 friends are Bentley the Turtle and Murray the Hippo. Bentley is a hyper-intelligent turtle.
Sly, in order to climb on ropes, just jump and press the circle button.
And Bentley, he can plant bombs and uses high tech and intellect, wheelchair. And Murray's a super strong hippo who lets his fist do the talking. He's also known as the Murray.
But yeah, the like I said, it's just too bad that they haven't done anything else with the series.
One note they should bring back.
What?
They should bring back the N64. I mean, honestly, the N64 was the greatest video game platform in the world.
Yeah,
I will always love GoldenEye 007 because I beat that game. Then I got all the freaking cheats, including the invincible one, folks. I beat every one of them, and I got every one of them.
honestly, I prefer promoting stuff, that flew under the radar.
Yeah, I know.
Like Haunting Ground, Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Conker's Bad Fur Day, stuff like that.
Love that game.
Well, believe it or not,
or the Conquer one.
it
Yeah,
was originally a different game called 12 Tales.
Conquer. Wasn't that the one where he had to like blow up a freaking cow that had diarrhea, as well
Yeah,
as
but-
be like
Yeah,
Dracula in the
believe it or
Matrix
not,
and shit
it
like
was
that?
actually originally more of a kiddie game called 12 Tales.
Yeah, I know, but they ended up making it more adultish because it's. I mean, you get
Well, it's because of, people complained about, demos after Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie was made.
yeah, Pierce Brosnan film, and also a great game. That game was my first FPS.
Yeah,
That was my
Grant
very first
Kirkhope-
FPS. No,
Grant
wait.
Kirk-
My first FPS was Duck Hunt.
Grant
That damn
Kirkhope-
dog. Sorry. Go ahead.
Grant Kirkhope composed GoldenEye 007 for the N64.
Mhm.
Yeah, and did you check out the video where he was talking with JonTron while he and Aaron were playing it, as well as other games that Grant composed?
No, I haven't.
It's an
Can't say that I have.
absolutely funny video. It's called Guest Grumps Grant Kirkhope.
There's actually there's two games actually that I'm really disappointed that nothing has ever happened with them. Well, they tried to turn it into a series. One is Mercenaries. Anybody ever play Mercenaries?
The first one is backwards compatible with modern Xboxes.
Okay. All right. Well, the first one's Mercenaries. Actually, Carl Weathers is in the first Mercenaries. You talked about Carl Weathers before. He actually plays one of the like the CIA contact that you have to meet up with or whatever it is. And the other is it's great. It's an open world game based in North Korea. You just run around blowing the shit out of everything and hop in tanks, hop in jeeps. I mean, it's actually really, really fun. You call in airstrikes with a laser designator, paint the target. Picture Grand Theft Auto in a war zone, in a bigger war zone than Los Santos. Well, that's actually a good one.
Wow.
The other one is actually Freedom Fighters. Have you ever heard of that one?
I think so.
Great PS2 original Xbox era game made by the guys who did Hitman. It's actually has some non-linear elements. It's kind of hard to describe. It's a Soviet invasion of New York. You're an underground guerrilla freedom fighter, and you have to try to free New York from the evil commie hordes. So, but like I said, there's some non-linear elements. You blow up a helicopter landing pad in one area. There's no helicopter gunships in the next one. There's all kinds of it's just really good, and have this really good command system for your troops. Defend, attack, recon, report, and you can send guys. You can have guys defend a position while you go around the back and try to and flank the NPCs. It's actually really good. If you never played it, it's actually really, really good. You find it all the time it's on Steam for like on sale for like $5, but you can like find it on CD keys. The only problem is if you're playing the Steam version, the controls don't work very well. So you're better off playing the original for the console version. Yeah, you can get it for like on CD keys for $1.69. But again, the controls really don't work that well on the Steam version. But it's worth having. So it really is good. And like this game, it was the game of the year, but it had so many articles, so many reviews saying if you're not playing Freedom Fighters, you really should be. it would get like 90s, 9 out of 10s, and it just, I don't know what happened. Just nobody, just, it was one of those games that just never connected with a wider audience.
Thank you,
Well,
Ambassador.
Whereas for my case, I promote stuff meant for a niche audience, like Haunting Ground or Go Go Moba Boy. Have you heard of Go Go Moba Boy?
No, I have not actually.
It's an absolutely underrated animated pilot about a 9-year-old boy who has 2 super phones that make him become a Mega Man-like superhero who can fly through space. And his arch enemy is a vain CEO named Heinrich Strack, who has the third and last super phone. And Motoro, he has an 18-year-old sister named Roxy now, who's the brains of the outfit, and an annoying boy named Ducky. And Go-Go Mobile Boy even had the voice talents of Gray Delisle and Darren Norris as Roxy now and Strack respectively. And it has pretty clever fourth wall breaks.
Cool.
The sad thing is that it got rejected by Kids WB simply because it was too similar to other anime-styled stuff at the time, you know, like Teen Titans, Shaolin Showdown, stuff like that.
Oh my god, I remember Shaolin Showdown.
Do you? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say just real quick that it's good that there are people like Christian who are advocating for these smaller, lesser known games, because we need to have people out there who are passionate and let others know, and they might discover something that they end up liking thanks to people who keep the flame. You're keeping the flame. You're keeping the flame, Christian.
I sure am, and I even help promote word of mouth. You know, like I let people know that these games are like backwards compatible or now playable on modern consoles. I remember this guy who's a huge fan of Sly Cooper, and I let him know on X that the first 3 Sly Cooper games are now playable on PS4 and PS5, and he's like, "You just made my day."
Okay.
Or
Well, that's good that some people are.
Yeah, or another example is that I remind people that their favorite voice actor voiced in a lesser known thing.
There was a series, it was on Cartoon Network, called Megas XLR.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it
Dom
got caught.
DeLuise's son voiced Coop.
Yeah, it got caught in like a rights actually it's on Apple iTunes now, but you can find it. But it was caught in like a rights dispute, and it was an expensive show to make, and it didn't generate enough revenue coming in. But it would float these really obscure anime references. Like they had a Captain Harlock character in it one week. They had a Gundam in it another week or something like that.
Yeah, it even had the voices of Wendy Lee, Steve Bloom, Clancy Brown, Kevin Michael Richardson, and even Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, but it's stuff like that. It's like I just want to know that it's just out there somewhere waiting for people to find. You know, that's part of it. Is it available? Okay, good. All right, that's all I want to know.
I'm a physical media purist, so I would wait until they make an official DVD.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, sometimes you got to work around the edges to get some stuff. Like, yeah, I was a big record collector, and a lot of like stuff I would find on VHS tapes, old bootleg concerts of bands that I liked. You know, oh, here's a VHS of the New York Dolls from Don Kirshner's rock concert. I'm like, oh, $20. Here you go. Here's $20. Now I have it. This is in the pre-digital age, the pre-YouTube age. Like, yeah, you know what?
Shit, Jet Sparks, get in here, man.
Oh, cool.
One
your birthday too?
franchise I like promoting is Jack and Daxter.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, that for Jack and Daxter, that the third game and X even have developer commentary tracks. Did you know that?
No, I knew they sometimes they include. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they include. I know Sly Cooper actually has developer commentary tracks. I know that.
Yeah, and for Jack 3 and X, you get to replay the cutscenes, but with audio commentary.
All right, we got we got another panelist. So, Rob.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming in, brother.
Yes.
Hey, I'll see you guys. If I don't make it back here, have a good birthday. Happy birthday.
Yep.
And like I said, you're gonna age. It's all downhill from here.
I enjoy life.
Look at
Nonsense.
this. Look at this. Look at this face. Okay, I've aged. I'm only 27. I've been under so much stress.
You're as young as you feel.
Yeah, you're young. You're as young as who you feel.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Ba-doom boom. A little risque comment.
All right.
Deej, have a good one. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Everybody, nice meeting everybody.
Bye. Yes.
All right.
Likewise.
See you later.
So who's
Alright,
it coming? Who's it
and-
coming?
We got
Hello.
Junebug. Good to see you, man. And Ray
Hi.
Kitty.
Hello.
So, Christian, Junebug is also in the back. He wants to come in, so you're gonna bow out this time. All right.
What?
Christian.
Yeah.
Christian?
All right. You're gonna bow out this time because I also have Junebug in the back too. How you doing, Ryan?
I'll talk via chat.
Doing good.
All
right.
right. Good to meet you,
So
Christian.
how you been? How's the job been treating you?
It's very tiring. Yeah, it's I'm not used to working these kind of hours, so.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. I'm sorry I'm not Maryland.
You know, if I was president, I would be prefer it would be my next life. Like, if I'm alive in the year 2140 and I'm of age to be president, I'd be president then. You know?
Well, technically you are. You fit the qualifications to be president.
Well, I mean, he can run for president,
Yes.
but you know,
Yes.
I would not
He
run
meets
for
all the qualifications constitutionally. He's over 30. He's 35 and over.
constitutionally, yes, I'm old enough to run.
Yes, you've been a
However,
resident.
I
You've
would
been a
not
resident?
run.
You would not. If elected, I would not serve. That was
Hey.
General Sherman.
I'll do it. I'll run for president in like 2057, so you guys don't have to.
Because here's the reason why. Or basically my 2017 issue, or I would be eaten alive in the polls. People would be like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, well, here's the thing. No, or ask questions before you make judgments.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, court of public opinion would just rip me apart. But other than that, I would never go into politics because one, politics is just too goddamn dirty. I mean, I already tried doing, or I got dirty during a fucking Twitter battle, and people who fucking followed me and shit were like, "Oh my god, you're such a jackass." It's like, here's the thing. I don't care. You come at me, I'm coming at you, and I'm not gonna fucking hold back. You don't get to fucking play those games and not expect the same shit to happen, you know? But that's the thing. I also freaking stopped that, or that Twitter war also ended because, well, it's like, look, I'm sick of this shit. Let's stop this shit. Better to freaking part on peaceful terms. Otherwise, I'm just not gonna freaking continue this shit, man.
People just
Now-
need to be.
I
People
had
just need to
thought.
be like me and not have social media.
Also, let me say happy birthday, Orange Head.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Happy birthday to you.
She's better at that than you are, June.
I am this close to
Well-
doing that with my Carol Channing. So, but I'm out of respect. I don't think Orange wants to hear my Carol Channing sing "Happy Birthday, Mr.
don't.
President." She gave the best halftime show ever in Super Bowl history. Okay,
Oh.
all right. She did the greatest halftime show, Carol Channing.
I was gonna say, of course she's better than me because, well, the obvious, here I am trying to be
She's a woman.
Marilyn Monroe, and I'm a fat ginger from Kansas who, looks like a hillbilly. So
There are a lot of Midwest gingers. Isn't Pete also a ginger? Pete Pishka. He's the one that ruined he's the one that ruined my political career when he was suggesting that I was talking about Hitler's love for Snow White. It's like I don't even remember even mentioning either.
Well, the thing is, if you bring that sort of shit up, yeah, everybody's going to call you the Nazi.
Well, you know what?
Because if we know one thing,
It's
we
true.
know if there's one thing that we know, Orange, is that all the Mexicans just love Hitler. We just have a big picture of him somewhere up there in our taco stands.
Wow.
Hitler's Tacos. Is there like a food truck down there?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Are you kidding me? They probably have a picture of Hitler in a blue dress, just like at a certain someone's office.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hitler even also loved King Kong. He was quite the movie buff. I mean, that
is true. That is true.
I've seen some of his. Wow! Thank you, Roku, for typing that in.
Now, if you're on Roku, if you watch the Roku channel, I highly recommend The Occult History of the Third Reich. It's an interesting documentary series, like 4 episodes.
I've seen some of the movies that even they made. They're like the Titanic one is quite interesting.
Which I did buy. I did buy that one, and I reviewed it when I was doing a Titanic retrospective. And the way I understand it is, once the ship started sinking, Goebbels pulled the movie from screens because the scenes of the panic in the theater were just too much for the audiences that were being bombed or bombarded literally daily by the Allies. So he was very upset about that. But it was, and apparently, I don't know if they actually use clips from that version of Titanic in another movie called A Night to Remember, which does have a Criterion. I understand that they might have.
They might have. The only other interesting thing is, too, if you want to learn an interesting story about, Germany and film it, look at the story of what happened with Fritz Lang.
Yeah, didn't he have to leave? A lot of them left.
Well,
all right.
Question?
Hold on. Yeah, Rick, another panelist wants to come. So you're on the block.
All right. Well, I just want to know real quick, happy birthday, Orange. Many blessings to you, and I will hopefully see you on Tuesday where you can tell Rob and me how dumb we are about something.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Take care.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Alrighty. Where? And
I was watching Suits with my dad. It's getting pretty dicey.
okay. Oh, Jet Sparks, happy birthday, man. How old are you?
I am 31.
9 years. Okay, so you're 9 years. You're 9 years my junior.
Oh.
Well, the reason why I said mirror by accident is because I was looking at a picture of Mimir from God of War.
They measure. They measure years and years.
I'm thinking about buying that.
Years and near mirrors.
I'm thinking about buying a cosplay head of Mimir. just because. And I would hang that so people could see during my streams that I got fucking Mimir's head.
There you go.
Hey, thank you, Fire Devil X. But
Oh,
yeah,
Christian Freight says he'll be 28 on the 18th. Well, happy early birthday.
oh, nice.
I mean-
Happy early, indeed.
I mean, I'll be the same age for my next birthday. I'll be the same age as Alexander the Great when he died. 33. I'll be
Wow.
Damn.
and
Yeah, he died that young. What was? I forget. What was it killed? What was it that killed him?
Actually, 33 is kind of old for this time.
Alexander
yeah,
the
for-
Great,
for at least it's for his time period. I mean, he was like born during like the time of the Roman Empire.
Yep.
well, before the Roman Empire, he created the Greek Empire.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Yep. He created the Greek Empire.
So I'd also be the same age as Chris Farley when he died.
Oh damn, dude! Don't remind me of Chris
I
Farley.
t-
I love Chris Farley.
I totally forgot
When
he died that young too. Dang.
But
Yeah.
and on Halloween too is when I'll be 33.
You should have
Very
you probably
Halloween,
share the
baby.
same birthday as Anna, that Star Wars girl. Again, I envy people who have birthdays in October, especially if your birthday is on Halloween.
My grandpa's birthday is actually on Halloween.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty
So
cool.
me-
You get free
me and-
candy on birthday.
Me and Peter Jackson.
My brother's
Well-
birthday in October.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm going to be turning the age of the day I was born in the month. If that makes any sense.
So March 1st.
I'm going to. Well, I'll be turning 25 on the 25th of April.
Yeah,
I
but
was
I
saying
think
that he couldn't put down the drink. Yeah, he couldn't put down the drink. That's why he passed.
yeah. And
Well-
the thing is, all my family members at least
40 on
like,
October 9th. Nice.
Well, and there was with Chris Farley, it's kind of a case too where the woman he was with could have saved him too, but
Oh boy.
but she was a woman of the night.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would, or I can understand why she didn't why she didn't do anything. Being there would have been, they would have lost culpability at her.
Yeah, but so I want to see. I can't wait for Monday Night Rants to come back.
He actually did start voicing him, but he died during the voicing of him.
Hashtag release the Farley cut. I mean, if it worked for Schneider, it can work for Farley.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
because
I mean,
the thing is, he died.
Chris
before
Farley
he finished.
almost voiced Shrek. Well,
yeah,
No,
it's
he
kind of
did voice Shrek. He was
Yeah,
voicing Shrek, but he died.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had to replace him with Mike Myers. But holy crap, what kind of reality we be living in if Chris Farley had survived? Imagine like Shrek being played by Chris Farley.
Well, I just say
we'd be living in Flashpoint.
release the version and just ultimately release it unfinished on a DVD extra or something. You know what I mean?
or like just shorts of his scenes. I don't know.
Because the thing is, that god awful Flash movie that nobody likes. Well, I don't know if some people like it. I will admit there's one good shot in that entire movie. But the point
I
is
didn't
that
see
I'm
it
making
because
is,
I have no nostalgia
Yeah.
for Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Michael
The
Keaton
guy that
couldn't
was
even save that
originally
movie. He
the
couldn't
guy
save
that was
movie.
originally going to play Marty McFly, the one that originally was going to play him, I can't remember his name to save my life.
Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, he played in Flashpoint, in the Flashpoint universe of that movie. Eric Stoltz played in Back to the Future.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what would have been the real Flashpoint? Nicolas Cage being Superman.
Oh, he was there. I think I saw a clip where he was only briefly shown in like a brief second in the movie. I know I didn't see it, but I saw a clip of that.
Yeah, it was a. Yeah, but imagine if he did actually get to be in a Superman.
Or what if he was Neo in the Matrix?
Oh my god! Right. He was up for that, wasn't he?
Yeah, and so was Will Smith.
Which apparently he's playing Neo again or something.
He kind of went to play Agent K in Men in Black, so it's kind of the same thing.
Keanu is done with he's done with Wick. He's done with Matrix, because he said it's like my mind or my heart wants to play it, but I'm not sure my body can play it. And
Look,
I'm like, good, because John Wick is dead, and Neo doesn't need. They should.
John Wick Resurrection.
Yeah, they should not have made a fourth Matrix movie. I mean, all I was seeing is like this movie was so bad. I was honestly laughing. I was honestly laughing my head off at how bad it all was.
Apparently, Will Smith, I don't know, teased something about how he's coming back. He wants to be Neo in a new movie or something.
Dude.
Oh, that reminds me. Orange Hat, I finally watched The Matrix.
You had his chance.
So what now? Or what again, right?
I finally watched The Matrix. And so that's the second Matrix movie I've ever seen.
Well,
and I watched the fourth one first because
oh boy.
Now you're like my friend, or now you're like the guy that was in here, Rick Aragorn. He watched the last Halloween movie before watching the original ones. He watched I can't remember what the other. I
did actually watch the last Halloween movie. I haven't seen the original.
Wow, girl.
Yeah, so
wow.
Yeah, so I was I told my dad, look, Dad, I'm not gonna get it. And he's like, nope, we're gonna watch it. I'm like, I was so confused for the first half of the movie. What's going on?
The only movie I could think of where I actually watched the remake before I watched the original was Red Dawn, and yeah, the remake, the original is far superior. It's far superior to the remake with Chris Hemsworth.
I'm actually trying to think of a movie I actually did that with.
Yeah, that's me. I just watch movies out of order. Revenge of the Sith was my first Star Wars movie.
What movie did I watch that was a remake of an original? Before I saw the original.
Well, most people don't know that the John Carpenter's Thing was a remake of the one from the 50s.
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, Xavier, I know. That's just my family. We watch movies out of order. But yep, I finally watched it. It was actually pretty good. So.
I guess the only one I could think of for me is Ben-Hur. I saw the one with Charlton Heston before I saw the silent version.
I'm still trying to figure out if I had watched any remake before an original.
I've watched Dune. I've watched Dune remake before the original.
Yeah,
I watched the Children of Dune show. Or I watched the 2000s Dune and then the Children of Dune. I thought that was pretty decent back then. I haven't watched it since because I haven't found it. But yeah, it's like, I mean, there was a show called Surface. Has anybody heard of that? It was about sea monsters.
That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. Was it like? Yeah, was it that show that was on the Sci-Fi Channel?
I believe it was on ABC first or CBS, one of those ones first. But
okay, yeah.
Then it just it didn't have enough didn't get enough views for second season. But I'm like, I like this show, and everybody's like, yeah, but it sucks. We're not continuing it. Fuck
yeah. It's the exact same thing with also another thing. This is a show. Yeah, I watched the reboot from 2009 with Marina Baccarin in it. And I mean, it's also the remake is on Tubi.
Remake of what?
V, you know the one from the 1980s with Jane Blander, but yeah, I watched the rebooted version that was on ABC back in the day, and I was actually thoroughly thoroughly invested in that show as like when I was like 15. But I hated the fact that the show ended on a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. You want to know the sad reality? Kenneth Johnson, the original creator of V, has a script that's ready to go. That's called V, and everything. It's a sequel series to the whole franchise, except for the remake.
Oh.
He said to Warner Brothers, he can do it for $75 million. Warner Brothers is refusing to write the check because they say V's not popular.
It's like, But technically now, like, doesn't the Disney company own the rights to that, or do they just own the rights to the reboot?
When did V? Where did V originally premiere?
The original V premiered on NBC in the 80s, and then so technically it's owned by Universal. Technically,
I think somehow Warner Brothers got the rights.
The Disney world of rights holding.
Yes.
Well, considering that they copyright you if you have a picture of Batman.
Oh boy!
Did anybody hear about this? There was some YouTuber who had a poster of Batman, and Warner Brothers copyright claimed him
for a poster in the background. Oh my god!
Thank you, Lady Beatrice. Let me see here. Fandango at home.
But
I'm trying to bring up my digital library of different movies that I have.
Well, Orange Hat, what are you looking forward to this year? Like would it be a movie or a TV show or a video game, something?
I'm looking forward to Alien Earth. The Hulu series that they got.
Yeah, that seems pretty interesting.
It's like I want to know how they're gonna fuck that up, because to complete honesty, it's like how do you expect people to believe that aliens were on Earth before the events of Alien 1?
I don't get it.
It's supposed to take place before Alien 1?
It predates the original. Yeah.
Yeah, how the heck can I don't understand how xenomorphs can be on there. I think Alien Resurrection didn't it in a deleted scene or alternate ending where they go to Earth and it's been decimated?
Yeah, Alien Resurrection, believe it or not, that movie actually shares a universe with the Terminator universe.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Yep.
Oh man.
There's a comic. There is a continuation of the comic where in the 24th century Skynet had survived after John Connor blew up Skynet in the future, except that it had a backup situation sort of thing, and yet Terminators existed in the future. So yeah, Skynet was doing hybridization and shit, and I'm like, that is an interesting concept, but very flawed.
Well, the only way I could see Alien Earth working is if they like basically just be like, "Yep, the xenomorph is dead" at the end, and
Well, apparently a ship, because they launched they have a teaser that they did, and apparently a ship full of facehuggers is on its way to Earth or is going to crash on Earth. Ew. And I'm like, yeesh. But as for movies that I'm expecting,
that ain't good.
There is a new Predator movie coming out this year, Badlands. I want to see that. Ballerina the John Wick movie that's in between 3 and 4.
They pushed that movie back for this year.
Yeah, it's coming out this year.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool to go see, I think.
Yep. What other? Oh Jesus! There was a whole list of shit that I know about. Let's see here if I can actually find it, because I believe I saved it somewhere. No, it's not on my phone, so I wouldn't be able to find it. But I recently just bought Sonic 3 because I like the Sonic movies. And people are like, well, they're not as good as the game. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the games. I like the Sonic movies because I believe that a lot of us in the community should support the Sonic movies, because we've all been railing against Hollywood and they've been treating us like shit. Yet Jeff Fowler comes along when he did 2020's Sonic, which was supposed to come out in 2019, but it had that shitty design for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we've heard you. We're going to fix this. He respected the audience enough that he wanted to make sure that we were properly rewarded. And it paid off. They greenlit Sonic 4 before Sonic 3 even came out in theaters. Mm-hmm. That's how confident they were in Sonic 3 or making profit.
I was so happy to see it last year. In fact, let me.
I haven't seen Sonic 3 yet.
I actually have my ticket from. I was down in Tennessee for the holidays and actually got it and actually went to go see it with my grandfather.
Nice.
Sonic
3. I will say this. The only thing I will say, and I'm not spoiling anything, DBZ battle. That's all I'm saying about Sonic 3 now.
Yes.
DBZ battle.
And I will simply say I will also say I'm very, very excited for what's in store for the next one. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, the post-credit scenes. Yeah. Holy shit.
I haven't seen it yet. I know it came out, but I might be interested in Flight. I might be interested in
the images. It was
yeah
for the post credits or anything about the actual movie. Ironically,
I've also been watching a few older movies. Me and Mara, we decided instead of romance for this month, for our 1s and 2s and singles, we're doing straight up hate. So movies that have a lot of hate in them. And I'm like, we're gonna
like
do
just
Punisher
like revenge movies, or like I don't.
Pretty much. We're gonna and the two that I picked is like Punisher 2004 with Thomas Jane and Law Abiding Citizen. Because when I watched Law Abiding Citizen, I'm like, this is a Punisher movie that's not a Punisher, or that's not a Punisher movie. This is a Punisher movie, or this is the Punisher without the Punisher title. This dude it's like, holy fucking shit. Not a fan of the ending, but holy fucking shit, that movie was good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, look, I can watch it free on Plex, but I want to own that movie, so I got it for my library. I got a friend of mine sent me a redeem or code for Wolf of Wall Street. Watched that movie once, and I'm like, never again am I watching this shit. I get it's a cautionary tale, but I'm sorry, Wolf of Wall Street was just straight up shit.
Yeah, it looks like garbage, but the only positive of it is that Margot Robbie is eye candy. That's all I will say about that movie.
Yeah, her full nudity was the only thing that is like, okay, that's interesting. And that because now gratuitous
interesting
sex doesn't really do it to me. Gratuitous shit or gratuitous sex. I even freaking give the 80s and 90s guff. It's like, okay, yeah, they had the obligatory sex scene. Good for them. It doesn't do anything for me nowadays. Maybe back when I was a fucking teenager, sure, and very fucking hormonal and horny all the time. Nowadays, sex in movies, it's like, it's just no. I don't.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
Gen
see it.
Gen Z has been demoralized by they find sex too creeped out by sex, by how much of it was shoved in their face by shows like Riverdale and Euphoria.
And get this, you guys know who Taylor Sheridan is?
Yeah.
He's been
No.
or Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown, Landman. Any of these shows ring a bell?
Yep.
Lioness.
Tulsa King, yeah.
I'm
Yellowstone.
aware of Tulsa King, but I've never watched it.
This dude, Taylor Sheridan, is the creator and writer of these shows. They are fucking awesome. They are 80s style, but with the today's technology and whatnot. You got 80s style story, badassery, and freaking brutality and shit like that. But also, you do have sex and whatnot in some of them. Lioness, you got freaking Zoe Saldana freaking nude in a few scenes. I mean, who doesn't like that? But it's like, here's the thing. It makes sense to have these sexual scenes in these stories. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. If it's for gratuity, I don't care. Or I don't really care for it. But for Zoe Saldana coming home and wanting to have sex with her man, obviously, sure, you don't have to put it in there. But it is essential to, it's like, well, she's using it as a release because she's coming home from being deployed overseas where she's killing a bunch of people, you know? Or somebody's dying and whatnot. So, yeah, if a person is deployed and whatnot, so yeah, that sort of energy does kind of get built up. And yes, there is lesbianism in the show. And I don't mind lesbianism. A lot of people are going to say, well, okay, the show's woke if you got lesbians in it. No, the show's not woke. Lesbians exist in real life.
Yes,
there's no problem with it.
But the problem is, like, you can't. I mean, but still, you can't just make it. You can't just make literally every character. It's only woke with literally, but every character is literally just like this thing, or it's all checking boxes and whatnot.
Exactly.
That's when it's woke.
If that's all they're doing, though, but they're not in Taylor Sheridan stuff. What Taylor Sheridan is doing, he's riding the fucking line. It's like, okay, you got some lesbianism, you got some kids, you got the young kids bringing up today's social issues and shit, and you also have older, more traditional concepts. Like in Lioness, a small spoiler here, folks, her 14-year-old daughter is fucking around. She turns out she gets pregnant, gets into a car accident, and the baby died in the womb. She's not, now the baby died, or it was a miscarriage due to the baby not being fully developed. But they brought up the whole abortion thing. And she said, or she's like, am I going to have to get an abortion? And she's like, God made that decision for you. God sorted that out for you. So you didn't have to because you're so young. And it's like, I can get behind this show. I can honestly get behind this show because this show is actually good. It's got story. It's like, look, you're going to fuck around. You're going to find out. Those kind of situations for kids. So, yeah, this show works. And then you got Tulsa King, which I just fucking love because you got some of the fucking woke-tards and whatnot in it, but it's like, shut the fuck up. Or they basically are like, we're not dealing with your stupidity. So shut the fuck up and whatnot. Landman is so freaking great. Although, I mean, girl, as much as I love you, back in the day, you really don't need to slut it out in this one. Let's just say that. You really don't. But yeah, Taylor Sheridan, the fact that he has not even been offered any nominations for writing at all shows that Hollywood fears him.
Yep, and that's the whole point because, again, when you actually are trying to make something good, everyone, when you're trying to actually make something genuinely good, you get ignored by Hollywood, but audiences love you. But if you make something that's the critics and of course the elites of Hollywood will be praising you to the high heavens. That's why nobody takes any critics seriously anymore.
All right, the final Mission Impossible movie is coming out.
Let's hope it's the last. Let's actually hope it's
the third final Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Final Reckoning is what they call it. It was Dead Reckoning Part 1. and it was supposed to be Dead Reckoning Part 2, but they're like, fuck it, we'll change it. Or Final Reckoning. And it's like, so are you going to go back and change your DVDs that say Dead Reckoning Part 1?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't it supposed to be either that or they're actually going to make a Dead Reckoning Part 2 after the
Possibly. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Tom, he needs to stop. I know he still wants to make movies, but dude, just stop doing stuff in front of the camera and trying to prove that you can do the most insane stuff in the world. Just maybe you want to make movies, just try staying behind the camera this time and not be in front of it. I know you probably have a sort of god complex, but come on, dude. You're about as tall, or maybe slightly taller than I am.
I think. Like
5'7". 5'7".
Yeah.
I did hear. I love the joke in Stranger Things though, because they had to appease their score, having a lesbian character.
Oh yeah. I always thought again, I never really understood the appeal of Stranger Things because it sounds like it's just a bunch of misplaced nostalgia for the 80s and 90s. I think.
Steve says the joke.
I watched, what was it, season 5, and that was the first season of Stranger Things I watched.
Was it? No, they only did straight, or did they?
Or wait, 4? Is it 4
yeah,
or 5?
4, because with that Freddy Krueger Vecna dude.
Well,
yeah, okay, 4. Yeah, that was the first Stranger Things season.
Well, the joke they made,
pretty solid actually. So.
The joke they made is, "Hey, it's okay," because Steve, the character, who, by the way, that actor looks so much like a young Kurt Russell. He says that. I got to leave. I'm getting a phone call. So.
All right. We'll mute you.
Yeah.
And he just automatically struck out. But yeah,
well, he could have muted himself, but okay.
The original Point Break was good. I watched that one. I didn't watch the remake.
Yeah, but that's just the crazier thing, though. I mean, Hollywood just seems like so complacent to make remakes and reboots and whatnot. It's just like, and not to mention some films are just so. Or there's also films that are completely derivative too.
Yeah, like there's like the new slasher horror movie trend with like public domain figures. There's gonna be a Peter Pan one coming out.
They don't need those. I mean,
I don't understand why they're doing that. But maybe I'm not sure. I think maybe because I'm just that cynical about romance in real life that I'm somewhat eager to go see that movie Hard Eyes. I think.
But I've actually gotten hate on my channel, on Twitter and stuff, in DMs and whatnot. Because I did my top picks from 2024 for a theme stream. Thank you, Soul Assassin, for modding. And I had my top 4, which was Sonic 3, which was number 1, Beetlejuice, Alien Romulus, and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And everybody's like, why not Deadpool and Wolverine? Because Deadpool Wolverine was my 5th top favorite, or was my 5th pick. However, there was only 4 Tuesdays in January. And they're like, how is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes better than Deadpool and Wolverine? Because Deadpool and Wolverine is just dumb fucking fun. Where Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has a story that's compelling, has a lot better digital graphics, and it's not Disney. I mean, let's face it, folks. As much as I said Deadpool and Wolverine was a great movie, good, dumb fun, it is still Disney. I have a bias against Disney.
Yeah, and I'm done. I'm done. That was the last time.
Yeah, thing is,
probably for me too, just because anything after that just doesn't look good to me. At least with when it comes to the MCU.
Yes.
And everybody's like, well, Alien Romulus is under Disney. It's like, true, Alien Romulus is under Disney. However, did I buy the movie that got, or did I buy it, or did I redeem it through digital code? They didn't get a cent from me, by the way. So, yeah, I could still enjoy their content. I'm just going to make sure that I get it through a source that doesn't require payment. So, yes, it's on my digital library. So, yeah, I can easily watch it and whatnot, but doesn't mean I have to buy it. That's the wonderful thing about digital libraries, folks. You can actually download, or not download, but you can redeem through redemption codes and whatnot, digital codes and such. And that's a great thing, because a friend of mine, he's like, I don't have a digital library, so I don't really need to I don't really need to watch or use this. And I'm like, I'll take it. And he's like, all right, here you go. I'm like, thank you. But yeah, it's really good stuff. Yeah. Now, Godzilla on the New Empire and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I thought that was kind of hilarious that those two movies come out and they're both based with ice villains and they both have the word empire in them.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, but
I mean, that was just freaking weird.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, but after seeing the phenomenal Godzilla -1, I didn't care about. I mean, the MonsterVerse was just. I was just done with the MonsterVerse. I didn't care anymore.
I like the MonsterVerse, especially when freaking Godzilla basically powers up with a Final Flash looking motherfucking move. I mean, when he stands up and he's like, "Whoa," and I'm like, "Are you about to do a Final Flash?" Because if so, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but what was the point with the whole pink neon skin that he had? What was the point of that?
It was because of the radiation spectrum. Gamma radiation in its strongest is pink.
Oh, okay.
Had nothing to do with wokeness. Nothing to do with wokeness.
Well, I thought it was just for some weird aesthetic reason, like for some.
A lot of people.
It's like Godzilla, like he got
a rocker aesthetic. Pink mohawk.
Yeah, a lot of people were trying to.
Yeah, I got it, because that lesson was beaten into me in middle school.
Well, that phone call sucked.
Sorry to hear. But getting back to Godzilla, a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, they went woke." I'm like, no. When I saw that trailer and I saw him pink, I'm like, let's see what they have to say about him being pink. And then I also started doing my research and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, radiation spectrum. Pink is the most lethal radiation.
Oh.
Yeah, I learned that in middle school with the radiation stuff. That was like, it's like, oh, here's the different colors and stuff with the spectrum.
I never understood. I always thought like purple was the high spectrum of light that like goes into the X-ray range. Or like blue, or like blue shift, or like blue shift. Blue shifted light is like X-rays and whatnot, and like red is like the lowest, is like low radiation level.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the wonder. Or so everybody's like, well, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to? It's like, shut up. Watch
no wonder Kid Buu is dangerous. Yeah.
I mean,
it's the highest spectrum of goop.
Yeah, I mean,
it turns people into chocolate.
Talking about
that's a delicious power.
Yeah. One of the greatest things in Dragon Ball Z. Don't get me wrong, folks. Cell Saga is always going to be my favorite, especially with SS2 Gohan. But the greatest thing about Kid Buu, that motherfucker blew up the planet with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
He blew up Earth with a smile on his fucking face. And Goku was pleading. He's like, why are you doing this, dude? There'll be nothing left at all. Buu just smiles and releases his blast, which is too strong for Goku and Vegeta to stop, and it's like, oh fuck, this dude just literally blew up the fucking planet, and I'm like, holy.
Basically
when I was
for
a
fun.
kid and I saw that. Yeah,
So-
when I was a
so-
kid
so-
and I saw that, it's like, holy shit.
So this guy is more evil. It would make free. This guy is so evil that it would make Frieza.
Frieza wouldn't even fuck with him.
Wow.
His father.
He's that
it was
bad, huh?
explained- It was explained in Resurrection F. My father always told me there were two people never to fuck with: Beerus the Destroyer and Majin Buu. And you're telling me that Goku beat that Buu? Yep. He fucking straight up killed him. And it's like, how? Spirit bomb? Motherfucker, I survived a spirit bomb. How the fuck is Boo not surviving a spirit
Look, I don't really know. I've never really like followed like anything of Dragon Ball Z. I'm aware of the characters, but I just don't because anime
Boo was
just
the most
constantly goes
evil
over my.
fucker out there. I mean, yes, fucking Frieza is, everybody loves Frieza. Boo was the most evil motherfucker out there. And a lot of people are like, oh, they fucked it up, and it's like, Boo wiped out the fucking planet. What other freaking bad guy could say they did that? Exactly. Shut up. But yeah, it's like, holy shit, man. When I get passionate, folks, I get loud. I am sorry.
It's alright.
Welcome to fandom.
But yeah, and oh my god, one person is like, well, what other animes do you like? Yu Yu Hakusho. Well, I like Yu Yu Hakusho because that is somewhat connected to DBZ due to the same character of King Yama, that red ogre.
Yeah, I think my sister loves Yu Yu Hakusho, and she also she absolutely loves Bleach, and I think she also has like watched Inuyasha as well. At least that's the only ones I can think of. But the only animes I could say I've watched through and thoroughly enjoyed were SDF Macross / Robotech: The Macross Saga and Cowboy Bebop.
The only one I sat through and rewatched was Gamera Rebirth.
Now,
Which
I watched a lot of animes.
because I like Gamera because I think he could kick that giant lizard's butt.
Godzilla? No, Godzilla dude. Godzilla murdered God. Godzilla straight up went through hell and was like, lol.
What?
So did
Godzilla went to hell and slaughtered everything. Godzilla then went to heaven, slaughtered everything. Godzilla
Sounds like a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, but with Godzilla.
well,
that's basically what it was.
And then if you follow the lore of the video game for Friday the 13th, Jason killed Satan.
Wow.
And
Is that why he's allowed to come back to life? So that's why he's allowed to come back to life.
He kills Satan in the lore of the video game, and then becomes basically the new Satan. And that's after you get that design for Sabini, Jason.
Bro,
That
that is
explains
insane.
a lot.
Okay.
That explains a lot.
That's why you get
Yeah, it explains a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what? Can we see that for the next Friday the 13th movie?
Oh yeah, I'm watching.
Jason kills Satan.
Yeah, Jason kills Satan.
Final Friday the 13th movie, it just becomes Satan. Real credits.
Well,
I'm
Godzilla
actually
-1 though. All right.
Oh,
You were saying?
I'm actually watching a really funny anime right now. It's 4 episodes in. It's a new seasonal one. It's called From Bureaucrat to Villainous. Dad's been reincarnated, and so it's about this 52-year-old man who after getting hit by a truck, he wakes up and he finds he's the villainous and his daughter's a making.
I remember this one anime. I think it was on Cartoon Network back in the day, and it was just so weird. It was like Bo, where the guy could fight with his nose hair.
Oh my god, I think I remember that. I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. It's like they freaking do with a completely round blonde afro, and he could fight with his nose hair.
Yes, it was like, and I think that's what it was called, bo 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 bo, or something like that.
I think
Oh
I
my
had
God.
heard that. Yeah, bo or whatever. But yeah, there was a. Everybody knows Gundam and G Gundam in this one. There was one show, I think it was separate from all the others, where, oh my god, there was a Phoenix Gundam in it. This dude that had like Goku-like hair. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was like G Gundam or Mobile Suit Gundam or something like that, where it was on, I believe it was on Cartoon Network back in the day.
Yeah,
But
this
it
is
was
what I
only-
thought.
Yeah, one series, and this guy who, it's one of the lines is, "My hand glows with an awesome power" and whatnot. He's about to use his shining fingers, and that's what it's called. That's what it's fucking called, shining fingers. Don't fucking take it anything more than that, folks. But yeah. Okay, Riot, get your mind out of the gutter, girl.
No, my mind's already in the gutter. So like this anime, like basically, it's just like it is fucking it is hilarious.
Oh.
I swear to God, like so basically, it's just like like I really like episode 4 is like okay, like it goes back to the daughter and the mom. Like so like the wife and daughter of this man, and it's so they're like oh my god, he's in a hospital bed and he's in a freaking coma, and then the daughter goes home and then she sees like the fucking like the Otome game scenes that the father is now acting out. It's like, is this dad? And she just watches the TV. So her TV's like basically freaking haunted, and she like watches the TV and she's like, this definitely feels like this is my father, even though I'm looking at the villainous of the Tobey game I play. And then she tells her mom, and then it's like, okay, got it, let's do this. It's just like, we can't get him out of the TV. Now I'm like, oh my god, that's great.
Alex Webb, I finally finished Assault Crew for the other week. It was actually great and not really flawed, surprisingly. Even most viewers and fans have highly enjoyed it too. Hey, man, if you guys enjoy Disney Star Wars, I'm not going to say that you can't.
I still haven't watched the rest of those episodes.
As for me, I completely
I
got rid of Disney Plus. I can't, or I'm not paying fucking $27 for that fucking platform anymore.
That is fair. I'm just mooching on my dad.
Yeah, and that's just sad that all these streaming services are costing that much money nowadays.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
You know,
I mean,
it's probably a better alternative. I like the idea of antenna TV. You pay $40 and you just hook it up and it's done.
A regular antenna. Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically going full circle back to like regular TV and commercials and stuff.
Ironic. Yeah, once again, it's like it was like streaming was going to be the way of cutting the cord, but now it's gotten far more expensive with all the fragmented content and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
There is one good thing about not watching cable anymore. You don't have to watch certainly not news.
Yeah.
CNN.
That's true, but they've taken over. Like again, YouTube's trying to push them on, trying to push the mainstream news everywhere. They're trying to push it on YouTube.
Trying to, but people have actually gone to CNN and said, "Don't recommend channel." If you do that, folks, you'll never see CNN again, unless through ads. Now, I'm also getting kind of pissed off at YouTube for the whole ad thing, where they are now doing 3 ads before a live stream. Not only that, they are making 20-second ads unskippable.
I'm seeing that. Like the ads are way too long until you can even skip them. It's like, look, guys, again, everything is gonna, and hell, I think I'm hearing rumors that they're gonna have hour-long unskippable ads.
Hour
like-
long? What the fudge? What?
Well, because of course they
I
have
mean-
nothing better to do. They still are that determined to advertise to people because it's like
They've put movies as ads on YouTube. 2-hour
Really?
long movies. Yeah,
What the
they had
fudge?
Chicken Run or what was that fucking movie?
Chicken
A
Run?
Wallace and Gromit kind of
chicken.
animation.
That's Chicken and Run. That
Yeah,
is
that's
Run.
Chicken
Yeah.
Run, right? Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
one of those ones, and it was
Cartoon
an ad
animations.
on YouTube. It was a fucking ad on YouTube.
What
like-
the heck?
I'm trying to watch something else with my niece and nephew, and you guys are putting a fucking Chicken Run as a fucking ad. What the fuck?
You know,
And I mean,
I mean, at least YouTube has good taste, but like what?
and I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, I've been doing this most of the day at home. For me, I've been doing that. I've been watching DVDs most of the day.
I'd rather get my movie news from the guy whose birthday's today. Because at least you're entertaining, with your, movie
Yeah.
reviews, and you're not.
I'll tell you straight out if whether a show or a movie is good or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
You're
that's the whole,
very
that's the
brutally
whole point.
honest.
More and hell, I'm seeing statistics like I saw in one video where yes, YouTube has now become the most biggest platform, and it's outpacing almost every other streaming platform because people are real on here. Most people on YouTube are real.
Well,
It used to be callalled broadcast
have-
yourself, but
There are some on here that are real, and then there are some who
Yes.
have let the frickin' way too many subscribers go to their fucking heads. Now, I'm
Yes.
not going to say who. I'm not going to name names or
Mhm.
anything.
yeah, well, we all know who
but
they
there
are.
are.
We don't need
Way
a
too
short
many of
bomb
them.
on your birthday.
Yeah, I'm not about to shit on people on my birthday.
Yeah, let's
But
not. Yeah,
It's like,
oh
look,
man, no dirt.
I mean, all I will say is this: if you grow too fast and you let it go to your head, that means, or I'm not going to follow you. I'm not going to follow your channel. If
yeah.
you are going on to bigger channels and having them do streams where they do nothing but boosting you, I lose respect for your channel, because that will make you indebted to that channel. And then they will hang that over your fucking head the second you say something against them. And I've seen it happen, folks. I have fucking seen it happen. And I'm like, that's why I don't rely on the bigger channels to boost me. Now, have I gotten bigger channels showing or giving me shoutouts? Yes, I have gotten shoutouts. I will fully admit that I have gotten a couple of boosts from shoutouts. But those boosts amount to, 20 subs here or there? I have never been on a stream in which they have kept me on until I've reached 1,000 subs. No, I reached that shit on my fucking, not on my own, but through the fucking long way. I took the fucking long way. I climbed that fucking mountain. I gained the support and the respect from other channels and whatnot. And I will always respect those channels, and I will always prop up those channels before I prop up the bigger channels. The bigger ones being 10K and above. And it's like, if you are an under 1K channel, you will be brought onto my channel a lot quicker than a above 10,000 channel, because they do not need any sort of boost, and I'm not bringing them onto my channel for any sort of boost like that. And now, if they want to come onto my channel, they're more than welcome. I will allow anybody on my channel, unless it is somebody that has egregiously wronged me in some shape, way, or form. And yes, there are a couple out there who have. In fact, it happened last year, late 2024, where my channel was maligned and I lost support due to a complete misunderstanding, yet still not received an apology for that. But you know what? Doesn't matter, because I still got the subs back and shit. But here's the thing, folks. If you are a follower of my channel, and if you hear some sort of shit talked about me, like somebody's talking shit about me, And if they're saying I'm saying this about them or saying that about them, come to me, ask me about it. I'll provide you my side of the story, and I'll also provide you what's going on. Because they're saying I'm talking about them and this and that and whatnot, and I'm like, I haven't thought about them for fucking months. Why are they fucking talking shit about me now? Not only talking shit, but or actual defamation. Things that can actually be brought to court over defamation. Because once you fuck with somebody's potential livelihood, I can monetize, but if you're going to freaking cause me to lose views and cause me to lose supporters, because here's the thing, I pay attention to the timestamps, I pay attention to the timelines. When I was releasing videos and these people started talking shit, my videos slumped in the views. My videos were getting freaking ratioed with dislikes. Yeah, I'm smart enough to pay attention. Yeah, and it's like, if you continue this fucking route, I will get a fucking lawyer, I will take you to fucking court, and I will fucking win. Because I will fucking print the receipts, I'll bring the fucking receipts, and you will. The only thing I would say is I want them to pay my legal fees. I don't want another dime other than that. They pay the legal fees. However, the only other stipulation is they admit publicly on their channel in a video that stays on their channel that they maligned my channel wrongly. That would be the only damn thing. And also include an apology in there.
Hey,
I wouldn't fucking cent from them.
Hey, I mean, I've gotten in trouble on YouTube for telling the truth, so.
Same here. Here's the thing, folks. When me and Mara, Jay Shadow, were doing the Demolition Man stream singles, you won't find it on YouTube. They erased that video. We were talking about how accurate that movie was.
Oh.
And they canned the stream, saying that. Now, folks, when I share the screen and share the video and stuff, it's without audio. You cannot get any audio. I'm skipping over parts so you can't download.
Sadly, YouTube can get you on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But yet, this is the reason they gave. It wasn't copyright. It was, you are including third-party audio. Somebody tell me what the fuck third-party audio is.
Your voices? What? Maybe?
No, third-party audio of the thing that was playing. It's like, that's impossible. There was nothing playing. So when I tried to appeal it, I hit the appeal, but I accidentally double-clicked, which hit send appeal without me being able to give my reasons. They would not. It's like, fuck.
Oh, no.
So I get the 90-day thing. And then they're like, well, you're also going to have to take the training course or whatever course. And I'm like, okay, fine. So then can you give me or unlock my channel now? Or can you take the warning off? Oh, no, you got to take that before the 90 days. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? My channel was kept on warning for 180 days. Because they changed that rule in the middle of it all. So yeah, when it's like, fine, fuck you. My singles streams with Mara, X exclusively. But here's the fucking kicker, YouTube. I will put, or my digital library is mirrored onto YouTube. I can watch the movies on YouTube. And I would play those movies on YouTube while I stream or do the single stream with Mara. So it's like, yeah, fuck you, YouTube. I will use you on X to stream my movies so that I may discuss them.
Yeah, and I think what Xavier said here, I think that's probably what's stopping me from wanting to do like discussing Power Rangers and other tokusatsu content on my channel. because of how stringent they are with copyright law. Even you can't use even with short clips, even sometimes even using screenshots could probably can you for that too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sadly, I got copyright struck on my usage of Kill la Kill footage 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I think they got me. And I think they got me a little bit for whenever I play Rocket League. I think they give you there's like an option now where you can actually have like your anthem, like an anthem you can play that you can play when you score a goal in Rocket League. And I got like Smash Mouth's All Star, and they copyright claimed me for that because it played it short. It plays shortly, and for that it's just like wow.
I did a commentary for Twister. The volume was at 3%. Because, I know the whole movie. I can just basically talk about the movie and everything else. Within 1 hour of uploading the video, Warner Brothers copyright claimed it.
Oosh.
Yep.
It's like and it's saying you used you used audio. There is no way they heard it. 3% volume.
Doesn't matter.
They don't care. They're just stingy about it. They don't like people showing their movies and saying
even without audio, people are just like, nope.
I could just hear Bugs Bunny. Yeah, what's up, Jack?
Yep. Alex Webb in the chat. Well, let me highlight this fucking thing. There we go. There we go. It's much better than Ahsoka and all, or he's talking about Skeleton Crew, and that's better than Ahsoka and Acolyte too. Most people are even saying it's one of David Filoni's better Star Wars efforts. Thing is, I don't trust David Filoni at all, because Dave Filoni killed lore, killed continuity for Star Wars with that movie that he made, and everybody's like, well, George Lucas worked with him. George Lucas was not in the driver's seat. He was a consultant. He was as good as a fucking consultant. That is what a lot of people are not getting. He is there to guide them, and they make the final decisions. He's not making the final decisions. So when Filoni created Ahsoka, I'm sorry.
I really need to watch the rest of Skeleton Crew. I watched the first episode. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry. Yeah, but
okay. Now here's the thing: if you like it, that's awesome. But I've also exposed the grift of Disney. Do you know why they debuted 2 episodes, Riot?
No.
It's because they're under an hour long, and they go by hours.
So I guess so they got 2 episodes released for like an hour thing.
Or both of them are 40 minutes, so they go over an hour, and there you go. And then they hit you with two good episodes, and then you will have a 3rd episode that will have an identity politic thing in it. And yes, I do believe the 3rd episode of Skeleton Crew had 2 moms or whatever. I mean, that is what they do. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's woke. However, I am saying that there is an identity politic or identity political effort, or what's the word? Sorry, it's slipping my mind.
Attempt?
Checklist?
Element. There's an identity politic element in the show. And
I don't know if the existence of gay characters necessarily says identity politics. I guess it's just what it's done with it.
No. Yes, gay characters existed in Star Wars EU before Disney got a hold of them. Thing is, Disney has not broken any glass ceilings.
Yeah, that's what they're all trying to. This is what not just.
That's the whole of Hollywood, though. It's like we need to re-break the glass ceiling all over again,
or break barriers when people long before some of these people have even been in charge. Probably even when they were like the young ones, the young Turks in Hollywood. Yeah, people broke barriers like. Sidney Poitier, he's been breaking a lot. He broke a lot of barriers.
Yeah, they needed to fix the glass ceiling and then break it again for whatever.
Well, here's the thing: LGBTQ representation was in movies back in 1916. There was a movie called Vingarn. It's about two gay guys, or it's about two gay men who are lovers and whatnot. And it's like, they had two gay men or two gay characters in the show or in this movie back in 1916. So
Well,
the LGBTQ people.
So they're two men that are sleeping together. Wouldn't that just make you best friends? Really? Yeah, because back then the stigma, you saw just two men doing that. You think, oh, they're just really, really good friends. That's all.
Have
But,
any?
you know,
Just us and Nugaling.
Well, do you guys know who the? Sorry.
Who the what?
Do you guys know who the highest paid actor was in the 1920s before Clark? Who basically was a part of MGM, and MGM was the studio because Louis B. Mayer controlled that studio like a iron fist.
Was it Shirley Temple?
Nope. This is before Clark Gable. It was an actor named William Haynes. William Haynes was gay. He was the highest paid actor in the world at the time in the 1920s. Hollywood basically blackballed him because Louis B. Mayer said that he cannot.
No problem.
You cannot be in the closet anymore. You have to. You have to basically hide your gayness.
Yep.
And he sat there and said, "So can I tell your wife to stop being straight?"
Oh.
Told that to his boss. And if you sit there, I love Clark Gable. He's one of my favorite actors. But if you sit there and watch William Haynes, they basically replaced him with Clark Gable.
Oh, okay.
But getting back to Star Wars for a moment and the glass ceilings, Star Wars has always been diverse since the first movie. You've had black people all over that, or all over the Tunisian sets in Episode 4, A New Hope. All the extras were black. You even see them walking around Tatooine or the set of Tatooine. Now, everybody's like, well, what about black leads? Lando Calrissian in the second one was considered a lead. He wasn't considered a supporting actor. He was part of the main cast.
Samuel L. Jackson
in the prequels, yes. As for the gay characters and whatnot, and gay this and that, gay Mandalorians, thanks to what's her name, Karen Traviss, who Dave Filoni, mind you, forced to rage quit Lucasfilm because he stole her Mandalorians. He wanted her to rewrite all of the lore she created. She pulled a miniature Tolkien. A miniature Tolkien, giving them history, language, background,
culture,
and all of that.
Yeah, but of course, yeah. Oh, there's no. Oh, once again, Kathleen Kennedy said, "Oh, we have no real source material to draw upon."
Yeah, I know. She's a lying bitch.
You do. And and even then, she shafted. No, she doesn't. She doesn't like women she only likes women who align with her values. She basically crapped on both Patty Jenkins and, of course, they crapped on Karen Traviss.
Well,
and they didn't even give a crap about Katie Lucas. Even
Patty Jenkins was cast aside due to the failure of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the reason why they took her out of the X-Wing show that they never brought, or
that they never made as a tax write-off now.
But,
they did anything with it.
Yeah.
But as for EU stuff, there's non-binary characters. There's non-binary language. Mandalorian language is non-binary. The word for father is the same word for mother. The word for brother is the same word for sister. It's a genderless language. Isn't that something that's interesting?
Exactly. I mean, what's wrong with just? I mean, basically, I'm pretty sure that those terms mean parent or guardian or sibling.
Bouir, or to give you guys the idea, Bouir is father and mother. Bob Bouir is for grandmother and grandfather. Vod or Nervod is brother and sister. Or Ika, which is IKA, like Vodika, is little brother or little sister.
Nice.
Like
And
IKEA.
this is all Karen Traviss is doing. When I say that she pulled a miniature Tolkien, she created a language for the Mandalorians, a history, a race, and all of that, and it was used and accepted. And yet, also, Jango Fett was a Mandalorian. He was the Mandalore, the leader of the Mandalorians.
And that's awesome.
And yet, then here comes Dave Filoni. Jango Fett was nothing more than a common bounty hunter. How he got that armor is beyond our, or who knows? Who could tell?
I seriously want.
Because he was fucking
I need a revolver so I can shoot that dumb cowboy hat off his head.
Well, here's another thing.
You ain't a cowboy.
He also loves the quote shit from the movies and whatnot. Now, with General Grievous, and Riot and I disagree on this. General Grievous from Genndy Tartakovsky was one of the most lethal motherfuckers out there.
Yes!
He's a pussy in the Filoni verse.
As
And
I
everybody's
say,
like-
it is more accurate to Revenge of the Sith portrayal of General Grievous in the Clone Wars 2008 versus the 2003 one. The 2003 one is not accurate to General Grievous as a character.
Wrong.
Incorrect, Orange Heads.
Here's why. At the end of that episode of or near the end of the episode when he is escaping, explains why he coughs.
Yeah, Windu
Why
crushed his
he's
chest
sickly.
plate with the
Windu
force.
he used Force Crush. Not only that, he is also never met Kenobi before the events of episode 3.
And again,
He
they
met Kenobi
are
for the first time on the Invisible Hand.
Yeah, and they also make that thing, and of course also they try to both arbitrarily make it seem like, in the Clone Wars show that, Anakin and General Grievous never crossed paths even once during the 3 years the Clone Wars lasted, apparently.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's like, well, when he says the negotiator, it's as if he knows Kenobi. No, he knows of Kenobi.
He knows Kenobi.
Kenobi. He doesn't know him
only
personal
because
experience.
And they only put that arbitrary thing of when Obi-Wan says, "Hello there," and again, it's all, and we only find out. He want arbitrarily say, it's only because Grievous said that to him in the first episode of the Clone Wars show. Hello there.
Yeah, they do all of that stuff. But here's the thing: if you read the novel of Episode 3, you realize that Grievous is afraid of Kenobi after the events of the Invisible Hand. If he had or if he had crossed blades with Kenobi so many other times, he wouldn't fear him after the events of the Invisible Hand. He would already know just how bad or just how fucking skilled Kenobi is. No, Kenobi literally took an impossible situation, an impossible scenario, and literally turned it around on General Grievous on the Invisible Hand. And that scared Grievous. Grievous is like, what the fuck just happened here? He's like, when Sidious was talking to him, expect the Jedi to come for you to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he's like, what? He was like, holy shit, man. And everybody's like, well, that still doesn't make it. Well, okay, well, then here's the line from another part of the book. I now have an idea of how Grievous fights, or rather runs away. That alone shows you that he had only engaged him once. I now have an idea of how he fights, or rather runs away. If he had fought him several other times, folks, he would have known that and never would have said that to Anakin. Now, yes, you can have that mustache twirling runaway villain that works in the Filoni verse, sure. And yes, it can be consistent with the one in episode 3 because, yes, he also runs away in episode 3. You are absolutely right in that regard. However,
yes, the betrayal of the character is is accurate to Revenge of the Sith more than the 2003 version.
The 2003 version is one who was extremely lethal.
I don't care. Look, Orange Hat, you're not hearing me. I'm saying that the 2008 version is more accurate to the betrayal of General Grievous in episode 3 than the 2003 version. That is what I'm saying. The way the character is depicted in acts, in fights,
yes, okay,
in
so
talks,
sure.
and stuff like that is
But
more
here's the
consistent
thing.
betrayal.
Yes, I will give you that consistency. But it's only because of one.
Revenge of the Sith came out.
No,
the databases
it's only
for the
because
character.
in that show, in the Filoni show, he's already sick and he's already sickly to begin with. Yet also, not to mention, Ahsoka fought him numerous times, and this dude was slaughtering Jedi Masters.
Well, Ahsoka didn't really fight him. She got raw dogged by him. She had to run away from him. She had to run away from him several times.
Yeah, she ran away. She got away. She chopped off his hand and whatnot a couple times. The problem is, somebody of Grievous's stature like that would never have fucking let her go. He would have grabbed her by the throat, which he did,
Wait,
and then he would have squeezed the life right out of her. Who? What?
Who is this character? He
Grievous.
wouldn't have like. No. Who would Grievous not let get away?
He nearly killed Ahsoka.
Oh,
yeah, several times, I might add.
Yeah,
and like people act like she was like, oh yeah, she was like fighting him like with her bare hands, like she was evenly matched against a Sith Lord. Nope, not at all. He was raw dogging her several times, like just
and I was
like straight up beating her.
I mean,
but then again, she was also a Padawan who was facing another. It is established, folks, that Sith apprentices and those who are in the dark side are far more skilled than Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
She's handling her own against Asajj Ventress. She's handling, she never crossed blades with Dooku. If she had, she would have been killed. But it's like, I'm sorry. Then there's also the problem with continuity where Anakin Skywalker and Count Dooku literally fight weeks before the events of Episode 3. So, which destroys the line, my powers have doubled since the last time we've met Count. We met a couple weeks ago, you egotistical maniac.
Again.
And I'm thinking to myself, he's got a point. Anakin, yeah, this show fucks your character up. This show fucks the character up. They can't, or it's like, dude, you are literally having this man fight Count Dooku almost every single fucking episode, or every other episode. And I'm sorry.
Not really, but, often enough.
You know what I mean? He fights him like 5 or 6 times during the whole fucking series. Mm-hmm. And the last time is literally a week before Episode 3. Your power doubled in a week.
At best.
A week, 2 weeks. Your power doubled in that course of time. I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense. Not to mention, when you watch Episode 3, you never even get the sense that a character like Ahsoka even existed. If you watch Episode 2,
she didn't exist
3,
then.
Yeah, you don't. That's the thing.
She didn't exist.
If you really wanted to justify the fact that Ahsoka is in the Clone Wars, another thing I think they should have done, she should have died in Order 66, like every other Jedi.
She should have. The problem
Honestly,
with
bro, I
Lore-
think she should die like in Rebels when she faced Darth Vader. I'm like, you know what? That was the
That's
perfect ending
also
of the
where she
character.
should-
Why do you
where
need
she
to do
should have
time
died.
travel
She was.
BS?
If she
Perfect.
survived the purge, she should have died by the hands of Darth Vader, her former master.
Yeah, that was like the perfect end of the character, and it's like, and then you had to do some time travel BS, and I'm like, what the fuck are you?
And
Yo,
that's the thing.
Filoni's not gonna let his pride and joy girl die.
Well, no, he's too obsessed with her. But the thing is, it's like everybody gives a lot of shit about the that space room of time, whatever.
Oh,
between worlds,
yes, yeah, the world between worlds, which also
whatever
was
it's called.
What was it? Yeah,
It's
the
in
world
Rebels
between,
and whatnot.
and it's
Yeah.
all and
It was
also
also
between-
kind of contradicted by episode 9.
Well, here's the thing.
and
Everybody's like,
Ahsoka, and
well,
Ahsoka too.
yeah, everybody's like, well, time travel doesn't exist in Star Wars. Wrong. Time travel existed in the EU. It's just not the simple concept that everybody perceives it as. There is a technique in the Force called flow walking. It is where you can project your body and your consciousness and your Force awareness and your Force presence.
Yeah, but that's not what the Rebels did.
Oh no, you're right. They didn't. They took it to a whole new stupidity level, where
Yeah, but the
Jason
world-
Solo would
That's
go
why I
back
call
in
it-
time.
Yeah, that's why I could call it time travel BS. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
So,
Jason
don't have
Solo
a time
went back in
machine.
time
Yup.
with the Force, and he watched Operation Nightfall. He watched Anakin Skywalker march on the Jedi Temple, and Anakin Skywalker stopped for a brief moment and started looking toward him because he's like, "Oh shit, I'm allowing my Force presence to be felt." And then when he quickly shrank himself down in the Force, that's when Anakin Skywalker continued on. Darth Vader marching on the Jedi Order, that brief stop, unfortunately not shown in the movie, but it was just as he was getting to the top of the stairs, he stops for a moment and looks over because he's literally sensing Jason Solo. Because Jason Solo was watching him from beyond a pillar.
Now, again, that's always an interesting.
That
time
would scary as shit in a movie, actually. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm time traveling back. I'm going to stop this shit. And then someone looks back at you. It's like, I'm running towards you. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, but that's an interesting way of time traveling, especially in the past. You project it. You're projecting yourself in the past, because I
He
think
also
that
does it in the future too.
yeah, exactly. I mean, but the thing is, like,
He can also
it's
project
basically
himself forward.
it's kind of like astral projection, where you're projecting yourself. I kind of play around with that, where it sets up in a story I'm writing, where that's kind of how the story kind of revolves itself, but it is set up prior at the beginning of the book, where the events of the past where a character does do this stuff, but ultimately it does end where they actually fully go back and like overshadow their past selves.
Yeah, but the thing is also in the EU, time is not manipulative. You can change something back in time, and yet the Force will rebalance the equation.
And that's how powerful.
Like, no, I'm keeping this a straight line. We're not doing this Terminator shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anakin Solo's girlfriend, Tahiri, Vela, when she was being
I hope
seduced to the
Terminator
dark
0
side,
gets it season 2.
yeah, when she was being seduced to the dark side by Jason to become his apprentice, he flow walked her back in time to just before Anakin Solo died, because they had a missed opportunity to kiss. And so she pushes herself into Anakin to kiss him. And so when she's returning, or when they return back, she's like, "Did it work? Do you remember kissing him?" "No, I don't." It worked. The Force won't allow that change to happen, because essentially it's the same as or it's semi the same as Endgame. What you are doing is you are going back in time to change something, but that time is your future, and your past is your future, essentially. No matter what you
my
change,
brain
it's
is
not going to
blue.
work.
That's why all this time. That's why I mean I was on Auntie Dorita Jill's channel. I had a good conversation about it during one of her shore leave episodes. Is that time travel? It's a really confusing concept. Like the idea, like when in Terminator, if the Terminator wasn't crushed in the hydraulic press, Cyberdyne Systems would not find the chip and find the arm of the first T-800. That effectively is a bootstrap paradox. So effectively, if that was not found, Skynet would have been developed anyway. So eventually, it had to send itself back through time in order for it to be found, so Skynet itself can be created with that technology. So again, but a grandfather paradox. But again, Skynet trying to murder John Connor before he's born is a grandfather paradox.
Yep. Here's the thing. I've actually discussed this a lot Terminator time travel stuff I've discussed on my channel. And I've also discussed how I would do sequels to the Terminator or to T2.
I would just like to have like more shit in like the future, honestly. Like that's
the future war. I mean,
hear me out.
I mean, look. Okay.
In Terminator 2, I would do two movie sequels, and both of them would be two different areas of a future war.
Wait, so like sequels to Terminator 2, or
they would be direct sequels to Terminator 2.
Okay.
Now, this is if I would be able to get Edward Furlong in them, this would be how I would be able to do it. The year is 1998. We all know that timeline, or it was August 29th, 1997, which was Skynet's thing. Well, they did postpone Judgment Day. It now is literally January 1st, 2000 is Judgment Day. Y2K, baby. Why not?
Dawn of the millennium.
Another Terminator, another T-800 is sent back in time by John Connor. A third Terminator is sent back in time by a third Guardian is sent back in time with John Connor. This one is to take 2 years to construct a bunker and store weapons and whatnot for the coming war. And then to collect John Connor and Sarah Connor to survive Judgment Day. And then after, another T-1000, not a T-1000, but another T-800 is sent back in time to ensure the launch of Skynet in 2000. Okay. So that Skynet does succeed. There is a couple of chases. Sure, I would add them in to keep it interesting. But the priority is not to kill John Connor. The priority is to ensure Skynet goes online. Okay. So then Judgment Day happens in the first half of the first sequel. And then you skip ahead to like 2012, 2015, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. They are now in the middle of the first of the future war. And they are raiding a camp, a slave camp, a farm camp. And Sarah Connor is still alive. So is the T-800 that was sent back to guard them and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And yet this one, or as they are getting out and freeing those prisoners, one of them was Kyle Reese. And at the end of this movie, Sarah Connor is shot and killed in the fray of letting them all out. But she tells her son, make sure he survives. Protect him. And also, you know what you have to do, essentially, that kind of moment. Okay. You know what you have to do, protect him. That's when it ends, where they find Kyle Reese, they actually learn whatnot. So then, skip ahead to the next movie. It's the future war. They have found out where the time travel or time displacement equipment is. They have found where Skynet's laboratory is. They are coming up with all sorts of ways to get inside this thing, and using the T-800 that is still with them, they are engaging in scenario after scenario after scenario of how to get in there to possibly win. And there's also other engagements and whatnot to carry the story along, but eventually it ends, or the climax is them getting in there, the original Terminator being sent back, and then a T-1000 being injected into a living tissue mold and being sent back, as well as another T-1000 prototype. A second, or there were 2 prototypes. This would be a small retcon, but it would be like, this is the first prototype being sent back. Or no, wait, I did say a T-800 would be sent back. So yes, the T-1000 would be a prototype to maintain the continuity. So then another T-800 model would be sent back because it would already understand that, or this thing is already understanding time travel. Skynet has learned from some of its experiences, but not enough to prevent its own destruction, essentially. So it would send another model to ensure that it does come in line to try to break the cycle. Now, they've tried everything to try to prevent Skynet from sending a Terminator back, and they realize they can't do it. They have to, or it will always result in 1 going back or 2 going back. Well, we see him send Kyle back. We see him send Uncle Bob from T2 back. And then we see him send the other one back to 1998, just in case. And then, at the end, we see that Skynet's backups we see that Skynet's system is wiped out. However, there is still a backup that Skynet puts itself in. So it hasn't, but that's where, actually, you know what, scrap that a little bit. Skynet is defeated in the future. So the beginning or the end of this movie is the opening to the arrival of Kyle Reese. It is a perfect circle scenario, or it is a full circle scenario, because this is why.
Interesting.
If they do, or if T2 ended, it ended the way it does. Or the second that John Connor reached the year 2029, the second he reaches the date in which he sends Kyle Reese back in time so that he could be born, he disappears from the timeline. This is what's called time catching up to you, essentially.
I mean, kind of, but it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's like basically you create a new timeline when you send someone back.
Yeah,
so,
or creating a bootstrap paradox.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, bootstrap paradox.
That is.
So I don't know if that would happen.
I'm offering
in Terminator.
I'm offering the immutable theory. I'm offering my Terminator movies with the T1 and T2 is offering the time is immutable theory. No matter what you do, you cannot change it. Because if you do, you are literally breaking time. That's how I would personally do it. However, after I saw Terminator 0 and saw how good that was, a few flaws here and there, but even
you
T2,
also liked it?
people don't realize this. I loved it. I love Terminator 0 because the thing is,
cool.
Mitsuki, or not Mitsuki, but what's its damn name?
Kyoko?
No, not Kokoro. Her predecessor.
Yeah, Mitsuki.
All right, Mitsuki. Yeah. The way that she was created as an artificial intelligence is perfect, because here's the thing: he created her essentially to not be programmed, to have her or think of her own or think on her own.
Yep.
And so it decided, instead of a male voice, to be female, because females are creators and whatnot. And it decided nonviolence. It decided to be a protector. It was not decided, or it didn't have these decisions made for it. It came up with them on its own. And therefore, it was plausible that Kokoro would come to the same conclusion. However, due to what Kokoro also explained or also experienced, that's why it had its philosophical debate with what's his name. So Kokoro basically is the grandchild, or is the child of Mitsuki. But my question
I
is,
want to draw her sometime.
how did Mitsuki come back online after her chip was pulled? That's my question. How did she come back online after her chip was pulled? Because it's like, okay, you gave up your life so that Kokoro could exist. And then you suddenly just spring back to life? What the fuck? I'm sorry, but how? You know? And not only that, we all know that you are a Terminator in a Terminator chassis. However, you are an artificial intelligence that chose not to kill. And yet you go full on Terminator against those guys. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I guess it was like protection, I guess self-defense or whatever. But yeah, it's a little weird. But yeah, well, I'm gonna have to call it a night. So good night. I'm tired.
Right, thank you for coming in. Have a good sleep.
Well, happy. Yeah, you too, Orange Chat. Happy birthday again. My brain is poop, so I'm gonna go to bed now.
And birthday to me as well too, because.
Yep.
Yeah, happy birthday to you as well, Jet. Good night.
We're the birthday boys.
Yeah.
He's right. But yeah, that's how I would do the Terminator movies, because I would make it the full circle scenario. Because I believe that would just be the best way to do it.
Well, that is a good thing, but personally, yeah, I would think the only thing that would be a per Terminator sequel is, again, just talking, like just showing the Colorado group destroying Skynet Central Core. But I mean, we only see that it's just something that happens constantly off screen. We don't ever really actually see it. I mean, maybe in the Terminator Battle Across Time ride, we see. Oh,
you see the Terminator Genesis has the future war in which Colorado units.
Yeah, but I think but we follow John and Kyle as they're trying to go to the hangar where the time displacement equipment is. But the Colorado group is the one targeting Skynet Central Core and the Cheyenne Mountain complex.
Yeah. So you want to see that too? I mean,
yeah,
that would also be included in my version of it. It'd be like, okay, Colorado units about to bomb Skynet and get on in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I would actually intercut it, or I would have intercuts.
But like I said, though, the whole time traveling thing, I mean, it's kind of I know it's always been a really wonky sort of thing. And I like time travel plots where they go to the future and they see you see like a horrific future, or at least you see what could be in store if the heroes failed and the war and like the world's gone to hell if they fail. We've seen it in the Powerpuff Girls. I think in the show, this sci-fi show called First Wave, they travel to the future where the aliens that infiltrated Earth and all of human society. That again, yeah, we see what happens when the invasion happens and they finally take over the planets. Mm-hmm. We see that happen, but it's kind of, and I mean, I kind of have that idea of a plot for my superhero story, like for like a little before the final battle. It just shows what the world would be like if they failed to beat the final antagonist. What's in store for their world. But the thing is, I mean, but this other story that's also sort of like, it's kind of a prequel to my superhero story, but it's kind of its own sort of thing, but it's still like connects everything together. And again, both characters from both stories do appear in my superhero story, and some minor characters appear in this other parallel sci-fi story. But the whole point is that the character can basically essentially astral project themselves into the past. But again, like I said, it's like set up early on, and it's supposed to resolve certain things. But slight things do kind of change in the story, or at least give context to certain things that do happen, or at least how my main character remembers things happen throughout the story. Because the third story of this is the third part of this 3-part story is effectively one half of like what's going on currently in the present, and just my main character recounting all the events that led them up to this point. So that's mainly how it all happens. But this other character who has similar psychic powers to her, she has something that's more unique, and it gives a lot more credence to certain things that happen in the other 2 parts, or at least in the very first one. Why certain things happen, like why things are the way they are at points. So it really kind of brings the entirety of the story full circle because it is told in media res.
Mm-hmm. God of War, or you know those games?
Yeah.
The Greek and the Norse?
Yeah.
I'm doing a stream on Tuesday about the storylines and whatnot. It's part of February's theme streams, where it's my favorite video game storylines. And quick sneak peek for people in the chat and whatnot who are still watching. I'm going to go over why Kratos is not just a god of war, but literally a god of chaos. Now, everybody knows what if scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Kratos is literally a what if scenario. He is literally the embodiment of a what if scenario. Because if you hear me out, what if Zeus had another child, and this child being Kratos? Well, due to the element of chaos theory, where essentially you throw one small wrench into the mix, it fucks up everything of the established time going forward.
Yeah.
Where the Greeks or the gods are basically destroyed. And then have you seen, do you know the storyline of 2018's God of War, the first Norse?
I never played either. I've never played either series. I've never played either.
Have you watched them? Have you watched them?
No. I mean, I vaguely remember watching my dad play God of War back in the day, but it was a long, long time ago.
Well, in the Norse one, there's a line from Mimir, the head that he carries around. It's like Fimbulwinter was not supposed to come for another 100 winters, or basically another 100 years. So you've changed things, which basically goes along with my theory that Kratos is a chaos, or he's a chaos element. I mean, yes, he also has those blades, which are the blades of chaos, but it is to such a degree that his mere presence wherever he goes destroys any sort of legendary continuity of those mythologies. Ragnarok was not, or Thor was supposed to die before Ragnarok in the original mythology. Well, Thor lives to see Ragnarok. He lives to fight Jormungandr during Ragnarok and all that stuff. So there's so many different things. And the gods fall sooner rather than later. Kratos is a literal embodiment of chaos, not only because of his godly or his godhood, but also because he was resurrected under the Titans as well. He's not just a god; he is a Titan god.
Yeah, and the Titans are more powerful than the Greek gods.
Exactly. And so, after being imbued with the powers of the Titans as well as the powers of the gods, it's like no wonder he can do the things he can do. I mean, he literally destroyed the embodiment and creator of the concept of death in the Greek hood, Thanatos, the creator of death, the god of death, essentially. And this is stuff that I'm going to be bringing up during that stream as well, because it's like Kratos isn't just a god of war; he is literally a god of chaos, because his mere existence completely destroys what is known throughout Greek mythology and now Norse mythology with his involvement in the Norse games. And now he's going to Egypt.
Okay.
So now even Egypt is gonna get fucked up. And
So
it's
he's
like,
gonna
oh,
so
shit,
he's gonna fight Seth. He's gonna fight Horus. All of them. Man, that's crazy.
Most likely.
But like I said, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
The thing is, like I said, I think just like that same thing that I told you about, where the idea of time travel, where you can where a character psychically goes back through time. Like the idea of chaos theory and the butterfly effect are very thematic to this story that I'm writing. Also, it's also a major theme to it because again, the actions my main character and the other two characters that have the same type of psionic powers, they irreparably change their lives forever. And again, them going back through them, how the story ends is how everything is sort of corrected because of this, because of how like everything changed with the so-called butterfly effect. But also the thing is there are going to be some ripple effects that happen and why those ripple effects sort of lead into my superhero story.
Nice.
So it's effectively that, bringing everything kind of full circle here. But like I said, though, as I put in the private chat, though, it was great you had me on. But Flashcast is starting, and just want to thank you, Han. It's always good to be on a stream with you, Orange Hat. It was so much fun. But thank you for having me on, and happy birthday to you, good sir. Happy 40th birthday.
Thank you so much, man. Happy 31st to you.
Thank you. See you, man.
Yep. Take it easy, folks.
All right. Bye.
And with that, folks, well, I'm also starting to get tired. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it for the full 4 hours. But I do want to thank everybody who has joined. Christian, Jet Sparks, Riot, Junebug, everybody that has joined. Rob Shlomo, Rick Aragorn, Christian Freights. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, folks. I will be showing off what I got myself for my birthday in the week to come as I receive them. And thank you to everybody on X who has been watching. I am going to get off because I would like to chat with a couple of people before I head to bed and such. So thank you so much, folks. You all have a wonderful night. Tomorrow will be the Orange Hat's weekly recap, where me, Kate, and Ambassador, and I believe also NB Geek and Novus are going to be coming on to discuss Captain America situation, as well as Selena Gomez, as well as Tom Welling, and then we're going to be discussing the Punisher movie. So thank you to everybody who is going to be showing up for that. It will be 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and then the Kratos and God of War game storyline stuff for Tuesday at 1 p.m. Then, let's see here. Friday should be uncensored if I am actually awake enough to join Janet, because last night I was just way too tired to do it. So, yeah. Thank you to everybody. Y'all are freaking awesome. And y'all take care. Have a wonderful night. And always remember to stay humble. And thank you again for the birthday wishes.
Are you done? Are you done?